dear viewer, welcome to the Doctor Squee Show Christmas special. You join me just having a nice white port, and I'm sure the cigars will be through in a moment. We're going to be having something a bit different this year for the Doctor Squee Show Christmas special. For the Doctor Squee Show, it's going to be a mashup of all the different shows. So for the Doctor Squee Show, we've got me and the cast of It's a Wonderful Life talking the play which I was recently in. For Gallifrey Stands broadcast, we'll be talking to Paul G and Will Wilkins, where we are going to do Radom Chat, something which we brought out for Squeefest this year. It was just us talking about random topics from a hat. This time it's all based on Doctor Who around Christmas. We talked to, of course I'm joined by Michelle, Mountie Michelle, for Due South by Southeast. Unfortunately, we're unable to get our diaries to work to record a bespoke Christmas special. So what I've done is I've taken the game which we played at Squeefest this year, which was with me, Michelle, our host, Ed Fortune, and Catherine Bruhier and Tom Melissis. And we played Outrageous Liers. So that is all four of us playing. We get asked to tell them about a story about a time when we, and it could be like invented 5 new flavors of dog food, I think was one I had once, and you've got to tell it as if you've you're recounting the story which you've never heard of this thing before. You've got to make it up on the spot. Other people can buzz in and going, I think you forgot to mention, and add facts which you've then got to incorporate. It's a lot of fun. And I think you're going to really enjoy this mashup show. We've got a few other little surprises and things coming up. But you may notice as you're watching this, it's Boxing Day. Unfortunately, due to personal illness, due to my computer dying and having to get a new one, and as a lot of you may know, my mum's been ill. Unfortunately, she's dying. She's got inoperable wound cancer, and she's probably not got long left. She's spent Christmas in a residential home in respite care while she's been building her strength up, following a virus she had at the same time. And in the new year, we're hoping to get her back early New Year so she can spend her last time at home. I only mention this because I want to thank each and every person who's reached out, both to me and to Mum, and that's been concerned and want to make sure we're okay. So always checking on Mum, checking on me personally to make sure that that I'm doing all right. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks to those who have watched the Doctor Squee Show this year. I realise we've been on hiatus pretty much since Squeefest, but unfortunately with Mum's health and care needs, I had to take a little while out. But Doctor Squee Show will be back in 2026. It's new and great stuff we've got planned. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to spoil the fun, but I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. We're now going to put across to our smorgasbord of Christmas entertainment across the Doctor Squee shows.
Welcome to the show with your friend and mine. So tell me, Doctor Squee, who's it gonna be this time? We like to hear you talk, but we love to hear you listen. And if you are not subscribed, you won't know what you're missing. So welcome to the Doctor Squee Show. Welcome to the Doctor Squee Show. Welcome to the Doctor Squee Show. Headphones up. Here we go.
Well, now for the next part of our Christmas extravaganza here on the Doctor Squee Podcast Network, we're going to be talking to a couple of gents which I've had the pleasure of working with.
on It's One for Life. Neil, Chris, please introduce yourselves and the characters you will be playing in It's One for Life. Sorry, Mr. Director.
Yeah,
first,
I'll
sorry.
save the start till second. So I'm directing it. I'm also appearing on stage, a bit like what's his name, Alfred Hitchcock, with a couple of little bits in which I hit him. By the way,
He does indeed.
yeah.
And I'm Chris, playing George Bailey, which is big shoes to fill.
Yeah, and you're doing a stunning job, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's such a funny. I always think of the Alfred Hitchcock one. Do you know his most obscure cameo he ever did?
Nope.
They had a picture of a rugby team in the background, and he was
he
the
was one of
coach in
them.
the picture.
Oh, right, okay.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought we'd just like talk maybe about our knowledge of It's One for Life going into this, and for yourself, Neil, why you chose to do this one this year.
Well, it's always one of my favourite films, and we have a couple of times at the Plaza picked something that's pertinent to Christmas, and you couldn't get much more pertinent to Christmas than something that climaxes on Christmas Eve, as It's a Wonderful Life does.
Yeah.
And also, to be honest, I thought there's a lot of doom and gloom around at the moment, and it would be nice to have something that finishes on very much a high. So.
Sorry, the reindeers are just lapping up some water in the background there. She picks her moments. Yeah, and just like very much in the spirit of when it was made, because Frank Capra, like I've talked to you guys before about, there's this wonderful making of which Tom Boswell, who was the damn Happy Days, he was talking about all those kind of facts behind it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they had this bit of interview where it was Frank Capra saying it's like coming out of the war and everything was so miserable. Exactly. I just want something that's hopeful. I just didn't want another damn war movie.
Exactly.
So yeah, perfect. And Chris, like, what's it like to be stepping into the shoes of Jimmy Stewart? What a dream!
Intimidating. I think he's such an iconic actor and such an iconic voice, and and this is probably his most famous part, and it's intimidating but very exciting. Hoping I can get even remotely close to the voice by the time we go on stage. That'd be great.
And to the other part of the question, so like, what like is your how well do you know the film?
Well,
what's your memories of it?
I first watched it when I was about 16 and thought it was the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life, because I was a cool 16.
Okay, I know you came around, so I'm going to let you stay. But
and then I watched it again about 6 years ago, and went, oh no, this is like, it is the best Christmas.
Was it
film.
like a sound? Like do?
Yeah, I mean, it is
like
the best Christmas film. I mean, it might not necessarily be your favorite Christmas film or my favorite Christmas film, but I think it's almost impossible to argue that it is the best Christmas film, the best made, the best acted, the best written, everything. And I've watched it every year since, because it is wonderful. It really is.
Yeah, and I'll speak just a bit to how I came to the table, because it was really funny. I'd gone to the open day to chat to you a bit, and I was going to sign up to Rayheads anyway, and then another play came up which a friend of mine was directing at Masters, and it would just fit into the end of my time there, because my membership was due to run out anyway. So I thought, I'll do that one. And then, I get the email from Mascus about It's a Wonderful Life at the Plaza and you're a player short. And I thought it was 4 separate parts you were trying to cast, not all 4 of them. So I said, look, I'll do whatever. I'll just be someone who just runs in and goes $20 and that'll be it. Like, just whatever, just please let me be in It's a Wonderful Life at Christmas. I have my birthday, which is like, during the run. So to be able to play the best friend, the brother, cab driver, and some arsehole in the bank, pardon my language, but some arsehat in the bank who wants all his money, and that's the most fun part in that, to play, like, I thought I really wanted to do the $20, to be honest with you, but then I was like, he gets to do something different, and to have the one guy who doesn't get it, I think adds a reality to the scene.
It's a bit like the American Christmas Carol, really.
Well, it is. It's almost like a Christmas Carol in reverse.
Yes.
But then he doesn't turn horrible at the end. He starts good, realizes his life's rubbish, gets visited by angels or ghosts or whatever, and turns his life back around.
But if you buy a ticket for It's a Wonderful Life, you can compare with A Christmas Carol this time next year. when it's being played in December next year. Just saying.
By the way, if you're trying to wrap this up, I've got more questions. But I've talked to you guys a bit before about how kind of like how much the plaza means to me, and in case anyone I haven't bored to tears with it yet, basically, my dad sold tickets to the plaza in the building which we're now above his shop, like what used to be his shop. And I saw all my first shows there. I went there with Dad a lot. He was into Gilbert and Sullivan, and he made me fall in love with the kind of those shows. And it's my best experience of theatre. So it's like it's sort of hallowed ground for me. And I kind of like the first time I was on stage outside of school was a school production which was called the Dream Factory in '93, I think it was. And it was like all schools putting on their own little vignette within a sort of larger thing. And we had the Green Dream, which was a very ham-fisted environmental thing. It was only school kids could. And I won't say his name, but we had the whitest child possible to play in Native American in it, because back then, it was the 80s, 90s or even. Anyway, but it was kind of like, it was my first experience in theatre, and like, having kind of gone through the rat runs of the plaza as a kid, and sort of like, it's just like a land's cave for a kid as well. So that means a lot to me, but also it's like, it feels like I've been back in Romsey for a year, which I moved back to help Mum. And sort of like, whereas a kid, I don't think it's easy necessarily to appreciate Romsey hasn't got the most for kids. I've really come back, I've learned to appreciate the town, fell in love with it, and it's like, feels a bit, It's a Wonderful Life. And I don't know, it just, I'm not comparing myself to George Bailey, I'm not nearly as noble or as decent as that.
Very few people are.
Exactly, no, I don't feel like I'm being harsh to myself there, but like, it's just somewhat of a mirroring experience. So this has meant a lot to me, guys. So sorry, I'm getting a little choked up because the playing means so much to me. And considering all the meds I'm on, the lines are really difficult to go in. So having something which I know really well helps. So I thought we'd just play a little game to wrap up this segment of just talking a little bit about who we would recast if we had to recast A Wonderful Life, and maybe who we'd have directing as well. So we'll go like
from famous people.
Well, I mean, it won't mean as much to the audience if you just go, Patty lives down the road.
No. It might upset the people I've cast as well if I say I'd much rather have had Patty.
Well, yes,
it's all right. You didn't know me then, and I wasn't about. But so
Chris was my sixth choice.
The
other five weren't available.
He's a fine second choice to me. So, but So
Stephen
like,
Merchant.
As
George Bailey.
Okay, I mean, have the height.
There's only one reason. He's got the legs for the dancing.
He does it. I do not. It's very true.
Okay, George Bailey.
Yeah.
Only because like it's a bit of a cheat because they did this on they do these live reads for the Edna Asner Foundation, and they did it over COVID. And one of the people they had one year was Jason Sudeikis, and he did just such a bang on mix of like George Bailey and the Jimmy Stewart version and something of his own. It didn't feel like a copy, but it was so perfectly him also. It was just it was like a magic trick. It was actually a really great cast all around. But and his uncle George Wendt, who was Norman Cheers.
Okay.
He was on it as well, and they had a wonderful cast. So Jason Sudeikis I think could be wonderful, and obviously people have seen Ted Lasso now, so he's got that kind of kindness link. Obviously.
Yeah. Gosh, well, it depends on whether you want to go accurate to the original or whether you want to kind of do something completely different.
What are your choices?
Well, I'm thinking directors.
Come on, casting room here.
Well, we are. I'm not very good at that. I normally just go, you do it. I don't know. It's like,
I was told I couldn't use the casting couch anymore. So we've got to discuss the ideas instead. So
I mean, obviously, Chris Nolan's the best director out there at the moment, isn't he? That'd be an interesting. Although you probably tell it backwards, and it
would be edgier.
In which case, going down that line, I mean, Cillian Murphy would be a great George Bailey, wouldn't he? I mean, he's great everything.
Well, I was thinking actually, if it was 20 years ago, then he's actually been called the modern Jimmy Stewart, which is Tom Hanks.
I mean, he is.
What about Nicholas Hoult? Mm-hmm. He crushed it as Lex Luthor recently.
I went to school. I genuinely, I went to school with him. Yeah, he's about 4 years older than me. I went to school with him.
Tell me about
That's
that. Like, what was he like?
He was very cool. He was obviously he'd been in About a Boy at that point, so he was super cool.
Yeah.
I did one show with him when I was in year 7 and he was in year 10, and then he kind of left to be Super Mr. Hollywood. So, but yeah, no, he would be very good.
Cool.
He's a very good actor. He was like even back then was like 600 times more talented than everybody else. Hence, he's working in the big leagues, and I'm in Romsey. But that's very cool. I do enjoy being in Romsey.
Yeah, I think you've won posh top trumps there anyway.
I think so.
So I was at school with Nicholas. It's
I was in the
I'll tell him you mentioned.
I haven't seen him in 20 years now, but
he'd be great though.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was something about seeing in Lex Luthor just because he looks so true to the comic like look of it. And he was so perfect in that. It just made me realize how many great roles he'd done. And I think he's definitely. I know he's really crushing it, but like I think it's one to watch. He's going to do even bigger stuff. I think. So we've got Mary.
Clarence stroke Clarissa is an interesting one.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think I mentioned George went there. Yeah. He didn't play it in that version, but I think he'd be a great Clarence. He had a lot of heart in his kind of performances and stuff. That's kind of very true to the original, I think. But like, if you can do something different,
I just thought of because I'm attracted to the contra to being something very different from the film. Ricky Gervais as Clarence would be hilarious.
Have you just watched Extras recently? You just
Stephen Merchant and Ricky Gervais.
I'm now looking at the wall of people I've interviewed. Actually, Michael Chapman would be good.
Cool.
I think he would do a bad job. Have you got a Clarence for us?
Oh gosh.
I mean, mind you, I am loving the gender swap, like with Clarence, Clarissa, and Dilly.
I mean, the one thing that we've spoken about this stage adaptation was done originally for just 4
people.
Yeah.
Talk about multi-rolling. They must have done about 10 parts each. And I just can't imagine what that was like. I'd love to have seen it actually, but
it would have been wonderful chaos. I think.
Yeah. I mean, we've got 17 actors, so
actually
a bit more than 4.
Yeah.
If we're going for a Clarissa, sorry, I've just looked at my wall of people, but there was there was I'm going to forget her name now. She was a Doctor Who companion to the third Doctor. She played Jo Grant, Katie Manning. Richard somewhere there. But yeah, she's a very kind of nutty, kind of like out the box one, so I think she'd be great.
It was
Clarence.
Happy Valley. What's her name?
Sarah Lancaster.
Yeah.
I watched her recently.
TV. I haven't got a clue what you guys are talking about.
She'd be great. And then because I think Dilly and Clarence were looking for same kind of type of actor.
Yeah.
Obviously, Helen Mirren could just play anything.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you've clearly watched more movies and TV shows than I
do. Fair play. So we've got to cast a Mary, of course.
A Mary? Oh, yeah. It's very much a straight man to George, really.
Yeah,
a straight person.
Yeah.
I mean, I think our current actor is making a good fist of something that on page there's not a lot there.
There's
to be
really
honest.
Her Danes? Like maybe not now. She'd maybe
pass.
Older than,
I don't know.
Romeo and Juliet, and did you?
That I have to. Well, they maybe watched.
Was that the last movie you watched?
Possibly.
Too busy acting. See?
Yes, too busy learning the immense amount of lines.
Yeah,
you've done
which you are embarrassingly good at. Like you're annoyingly good at it.
One of my fortunate talents is I read something and it goes in, so quite lucky.
Oh, the same happens with me. It just goes out again.
I wouldn't mind, but you're talented as well. It's just rude, quite frankly. I mean, it's just just memorizing straight away and being able to like give a great performance straight off the bat. It's just not fair.
Thank you very much.
Give the rest of us a chance. Is what I'm saying. No, honestly, I was I think going into it, I was like, I can't wait to see who was playing George Bailey, and yeah, that's.
Well, of course, the
I
audience
can see
won't
it straight
recognise either of you.
No, because I've got to
The
take
beers are
the
coming
beard
off soon.
I know.
Oh, and I was going to tell you, I got my hair dye as well.
All right, well, there you go.
Yeah. I've got to be the younger brother. I just don't sleep for about 2 weeks.
what's
That's
if
all right.
you
I've got a
What's it
2-year-old.
called?
could you put on a bit more weight? You know, it's like
What's it called, filler or something?
yeah, probably. Yeah. I'll need a fresh supply. Sorry, Mary.
I don't know.
I feel like I don't feel I'm doing it justice here. I'm trying to think of some
No,
kind of like
some-
a younger,
some young
like not too young, but like an actor who could play younger and older.
because that's the thing, isn't it? It takes place over 20 odd years, doesn't it?
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
think like
so-
like for Nicholas Hoult for George, I think he could age up.
Yeah, I think it's easier for men to do that kind of thing, to go both ways with the right makeup. Gosh, yeah,
I'm really
good.
feeling
Good.
this
Like I said, I'm used to Sophie.
Well,
with-
any of the actresses who've played the main vet's wife in All Creatures Great and Small, it's that sort of character, isn't it?
I have no idea of that reference.
Yeah.
That one's lost on me.
Well, there's a modern version.
Did you get that
of
one?
it.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you could pick like.
No.
I thought if I didn't get it, maybe.
It was big at the time. All Creatures Great and Small.
Trying to think.
But
of
then-
what
Oh,
I've been
The
watching.
character is very much like Mary in this. She's again like George Bailey himself.
Yeah,
She's too good to be true, really.
she is. She is a wonderful woman.
Yeah.
Karen Gillan.
Who?
Karen Gillan.
Uh-huh.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Dr.
Yeah,
Dominion
I knew that one.
Yeah.
See.
She's hard to forget. But I think I don't mean to objectify. She's a wonderful actor. But it's like I think you have got to have some stereotypically good-looking people in the. It is a very romanticized
John
kind of thing.
Reed
It's
was,
like you know,
was
I
wonderful
think everyone
actor.
should be represented in films, but just for
Well,
that
that's
film,
why,
that's
I
what
mean,
the part calls for.
above
you know,
anything.
just making sure I don't.
Anything that's a period piece inevitably comes alive when the cast start wearing the costumes,
Yes.
and it really does. It really does.
So much easier doing that last scene when you've got the massive thick coat on.
Yeah.
and you know from because we're having to do had to do a lot of rehearsals outside the theatre. So from the time we went back in, it suddenly lifted again with wearing costumes most of the time.
One actually I thought would be really interesting to do sometime is they in they actually talk about like there was an original script which had instead of George coming back to Pottersville, there was Bedford Place which had Bedford Falls, which had another George who was evil. And they duped it out at the end, but they didn't want to fight at the end. But I always thought if someone wanted to do a kind of a modern take on it where they told a different story through the same kind of idea, you could have that as the different ending. Just a way to make it like a different film. Like if there's a different film that could be had there, I feel like
there is, and it could be good, I'm sure, but it sort of muddies the message really.
Oh, it would be different, but I think we'd have to find a way of telling it. It's not as
right. You end up looking like a Superman 3. Was that the one where he an evil Superman?
Yes,
Superman 3?
Well, I think that was Man of Steel when we just break Sod's neck in the street. It's like that's my secret.
Oh no, wait, I think this was like 70s.
Yeah, no, it's 80s. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Spitting in the street and
how
dare you?
Yeah. Well, this has been fun, guys. Merry Christmas, and certainly it's December the 1st, and not early November. Merry Christmas.
Hello everyone, just want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. This is a rum and coke, I'm very tipsy. I'm looking quite festive. I've got my snowman, and I've also got my Christmas things as well, Christmas trees. So have a very good Christmas, and I hope he empties his sack. Bye bye.
Voice. So we're now kind of going on to the part of the evening where we like to talk to the elderly and check that they're going to make it through a cold winter snap through our little support group that we've got. No, that's Tuesday's meeting. Sorry, we're here now to talk some Doctor Who, even though the branding may say Doctor Squee. Never mind that now. That's not important. But I am joined by two fellow time travelers because as we record this, it is actually Doctor Who Day. So please welcome back, as always, to the Gallifrey Stands broadcast, Mr. Will Wilkins, nethead himself.
close.
What?
Other side.
Oh, well, on my
Yeah.
screen, it's that side.
There you go.
That's better.
Hi, everybody.
That's so weird. It feels like I'm tickling Paul instead. Anyway, and on my other side, apparently, welcoming in from Moon News and the old folks home down the road. Please welcome Mr. Paul G.
Good evening. So,
Paul, you can't stand for this type of abuse, man. It's just
I'm used to it, sort of thing.
Okay, fair enough.
I actually pay extra, so
Fair enough.
Yeah. No, that's from the lady you see on a Wednesday. We're all getting our days mixed up. It's all right. It's only Mrs. G. But anyway. Oh God, this is going to be such a weird continuity thing as well because I'm losing my voice because I've got a cold right now. I've got a weird up close on my face and a different microphone because I've had to do this on my tablet because my computer's dying. My beard's gone because I've had to shave it for the play which I'm in, which I recorded the other segment in advance with the people from. It's a continuity nightmare. Talk about wibbly wobbly timey-wimey, eh?
Thank you. That's all.
I knew you were going to. Yeah, you see, I was building up to it. But guys, because it was, well, we had fun doing it, doing the random chat early on in the year. I thought it was a fun way to do the Gallifrey Stands portion of our Christmas special. So,
brought to you by the Doctor Squee Show.
Exactly. So we're going to do, well, it's a mashup this year. I've done a little segment for each show. So we're going to do half an hour with these two lovely gents, and then we're going to be fortunately losing Will, but we're going to be joined by Eliza, who's been on the Pod Talking Doctor Who before. So guys, if anyone hasn't watched this before, the way Random Chat works is me and Mr. G have come up with 10 topics to talk about around Doctor Who, and we're going to pull them out of our hats, which my hat's off screen and may seem like I'm looking at my phone because I haven't had time to prepare the prop due to my mum being in hospital, but it's definitely there off screen. It's a Senate hat. It looks great. And if anyone hasn't seen, Cooper's wearing his Doctor Who hat there somewhere. This was all set up perfectly on the other camera. Anyway. So, Paul, do you want to kick us off with our first topic we're going to talk about? So, the rest of us haven't seen Paul's. Paul and Will haven't seen the kind of topics I've got. So, it is, for most of the part, we don't know what's coming.
well, exactly. And luckily, because we are now in compressed time, sort of thing, I will move to my lightning round questions that I have prepared, sort of thing.
Look, if we get through two topics, I don't get. Oh, in fact, actually, sorry, before we get into the topic, sorry, we were going to talk about. We said we'd do a little bit. This is chaotic even for me. We said we'd get a little bit into Doctor Who and the fact that it's on hiatus at the moment, and we had it's been such a roller, the way they've handled it, I think, has to be mentioned. RTD, usually the master of PR, I think I don't know if it's the communication between him and BBC about when he's allowed to say what, but it seems like there was this period where everyone who'd ever worked on Doctor Who or been involved in the show in any way was popping up to say how they thought it was doomed, how there was no word still. It was when Robert Sherman joined in to say it's deader than it's ever been. I mean, he was very dramatic about it. It's deader than it's ever been, and they've left it, unlike before when we were just going off in the sunset with Sylvester McCoy, he's left it so that it's Billy's popped up, and now we won't get an answer to that. It's right, come down, take a breath, my friend. It's I think it would take a lot for the BBC to actually cancel Doctor Who, because even when the viewing figures aren't great, those who do view it worldwide spend a lot on merch, and it's gone are the days, I think, when Michael Gray just doesn't like a TV show, so it goes. Money leagues now. It's if it's making money, you can't sort of afford to axe it now, unless, of course, because it's the BBC, and even though it shouldn't be political, it is always political, and it always gets embroiled in some political scandal, whether it's going too much to the left or right. It's been claimed. It's always caught in some sort of crosshairs, and there's always some sort of scandal about removing the license fee and cancelling the BBC and all this, and now we've got Trumpo in the mix. I should mention, Paul actually, Will actually, he's come in from a year and a month ago like that's where he's time traveled in from. So no one mentioned the election results. He doesn't know. Don't worry.
I only wish.
We'll talk after. You don't need to know why. But anyway, so I
All
thought
kidding aside, 4 a.m. existential dread on an election night, not cool. Just saying. Anyway, moving on.
But sorry to just wrap up this sort of interest, but it's like I just think, as I say, it's been handled very badly. I think it's there was a lot of melodrama, and it seemed like they released the information as a reaction to that. I don't know if they were going to make this announcement now. I think we'd all worked out we weren't getting Christmas special, but I think in some who hearts there was still a kind of like, oh, maybe they're just waiting till the announcement of. Obviously, it wasn't going to happen, but like we live in hope. We're Doctor Who fans. We had to for many years. We knew it would come back eventually.
I really think the way that we got the news was probably in some days will be examined as an excellent public relations thing between two major companies, because first we get the Christmas special announcement, then Disney announces they're out of the partnership. So they bowed to the BBC, who probably said, there's no way you are saying this, because we are not going to have the words of Doctor Who being canceled out in God's language. So we're announcing first, which they did, which was great. But, I'm very interested to actually hear your guys' perspective on, because for you, the show just came through like iPlayer or on the air like normal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So here in the States, we got it through Disney Plus, through the app. First, before these specials that led into the Christmas special, you could not throw a stick without hitting a Doctor Who on Disney Plus ad. Couldn't miss it. They were pushing it before shows when you watched them live. You couldn't. There's no way you didn't know Doctor Who was coming.
And just to look into that, over here they had stopped advertising Doctor Who long since. Jodie was the last time when she came in.
Oh, okay.
We did a big push. So, and we got the push where it was the Disney Plus partnership. There was suddenly adverts everywhere again. So it was nice to see here as well. Sorry, back to you, my friend.
No worries. So then, before the second season, not a word. So you could already tell Disney Plus was out of the running. They knew the writing on the wall, because there was not a bit of pre-advertisement, and even on the days when Doctor Who dropped, not even placement in the top banner. You know what I mean? Because usually all these streamers, you go there and they're like, oh, here's the hot new thing, let's make sure we grab their attention and get them viewing. Doctor Who would be like 4 or 5 tiles buried. So I knew this was coming. And
that should be a new metaphor for a show being cancelled. Oh, it's 4 or 5 tiles buried.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. We'll tell tales of that in the old pirate songs.
That sounds good. That's If I can see the writings on the wall for a show now, it's like that's 4 or 5 tiles buried. I'm telling you.
Very good. But from your perspective, well, now I know your perspective. There was no adverts whatsoever, so they're like, just let Disney deal with it. So okay, great.
Well, do you know what? I'm going to slightly cheat because obviously, I have just got my questions written in front of me. But I'm going to there's one of my questions which ties in very nicely. So let's lead into it with this. So what would you do? Because I put these mostly are Christmas based, but I think I've at least put one in, which is just a general Doctor Who future question, given all the announcements. So it's what would you do with Doctor Who next? And you would have to do it from where the ball lays now. So I'll give you my pitch, and then you guys give you a minute to think about it. So for me, I think the beauty of whenever a show is low in the ratings, it means you can get creative with it. It means you can get in some new hungry writers who will have different ideas, who will have a new perspective. You can take some chances, be a bit weird with it. Maybe, do... I love the fact that Doctor Who has a relationship with the League of Gentlemen guys who kind of all have written and been in it and stuff, and bring in the next generation of those guys. Bring in some some writers from Horrible Histories. Bring in those guys, the guys who worked on that and Ghosts. Bring in whoever. Just bring in these new groups and these new voices who can do something different with Doctor Who. Be a bit experimental. I would get. I think. I'm sorry. As much as I loved RTD's first tenure and some of the stuff with Shooty, I think Shooty was wonderful. But I think RTD has. I think he's starting to recycle ideas. Everything's got to be the biggest thing ever, so it never gets to be small and intimate. You never get to have stories just about the person, about the Doctor. You never get to have the Doctor just being like, when he brought it back, he was the one who said the Doctor should be a bloke in the pub, but he's the cleverest bloke in the pub. And now it seems like he's this omniscient God who's from another universe, and it's like it's not the same thing. It's like, and I don't think either of those are quite correct. I think he is a clever guy, but he doesn't, like, his power doesn't lie in his brains. His power lies in his kindness, in the fact that he does want to make a difference to society. He's not just watch and observe like his people do. And his cleverness is just a nice side effect, and that's how he saves the day. But it's through his kindness that he's there, and that he doesn't give up on people when it's difficult. So that's how I would get kind of through this moment. Like, get a few smaller kind of like underground writers who are up and coming and who've got like really fresh, interesting voices who can maybe make a bit of sense out of now the muddled backstory, boil it down, simplify it, make it make sense again, to be frank. And even like if they want to give you a small budget, like use that as, because they won't then pay as much attention. So like use that smaller budget to have kind of really cool like shots and like, creative ways of doing special effects and get stuff past their senses that they wouldn't think of because they're not paying attention because you've got a small budget. Have some fun while you're in that area, and then you might just save the show. Either of you guys?
Well, if I was gonna sort of like kick it off from where it is now, I think I treat this Christmas special as a almost standalone one-off, that kind of a thing. It's a transient jumping off point into something that is new, sort of thing. But I think my feeling would be go back to the core of what Doctor Who was about. It was about the stories. The Doctor quite often was landing. He wasn't the main character. It was the main character. He wasn't. Everything revolved around him. So he would land in a situation, land in a story. Effectively, some situation was going on that was already existed, sort of thing. Or he'd pick up the pieces, or he'd pick up the thread. But it wasn't about him. It was about the other characters you was introducing in that story, in that episid.
I'm just going to do that. To your point, again, RTD, when he brought it back, he said, to my mind, the Doctor should never be the reason things are happening. They should be happening, and then he arrives. And he goes, he even mentioned the 96 TV movie, he goes, I really like it, but that was the only bit. Like, it's the fact that if the Doctor wasn't there, it wouldn't have happened. Same thing. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, and he said that. Yeah, but that was the problem. It was one thing RTD would say that sort of thing, but then he would make everything about the Doctor, about the Doctor's emotions, or about a companion. Whereas these were they were effectively, they were devices to explain the plot, to extract things from the story, to provide a bit of exposition, to do those kind of things. Just good damn core story writing sort of thing. And my gut feeling is that we've got a Christmas special coming up. It's RTD's last episode. We'll see how that pans out and what have you. Is it officially his last episode now?
I think it is. Yeah, he's stepping away from it after this. So
I'm sorry. Like I love the guy, and I think he's a great writer. Like everything else he does is still great. But in Doctor Who, just seems to be. It's the same themes. It's like the biggest thing ever is going to end things for all time, and the Doctor is at the worst point they've ever been at ever in their lives, and oh my, and I've written the backstory again. Fuck it.
I mean, not to mention this last season really kind of even seemed like he was grabbing elements from other people's stories, because Smith's first series was great because it was establishing actually like the end broadcast date as this big fantastical date that we're going towards, and they kind of did this in the last second season. My whole thing is I really can't give an opinion here.
Just quickly, because like you bring a point, and at last the dates will be back in the correct order.
Yeah,
so
there you go. That must have been driving
not
you guys
December
nuts.
1st December. I don't know. It's like it's the thing of like. I don't think they would have put I know it sounds silly, but it's like Disney Plus would have said it's like would have put it on there, and the BBC won't have said anything, and that kind of annoys me. That it's like there's just these little kind of signs of Britishness, which like this show is from here.
Yeah,
and little things like that makes it feel like it's not a British show. I know and it might just be my neurodivergent brain just being picky, which it is. But let's face it, I'm a Disney fan, so I'm in the majority there. Hey,
it's not, because it makes sense going we read from left to right, and you most importantly want to know what day it is, then month, and then year, right? So
I'd have thought it was in number order, yes, but yeah. Sorry, Will, you were saying, my friend.
Oh, was I? Oh no, I have no idea how to fix this, only because of the obviously we're going to have to see what the Christmas special is, and I don't know that we've heard officially that he's walking away from it, but I think that the only reason why we're getting a Christmas special is because Bad Wolf is probably contractually obligated to provide X number of things.
Yeah.
And realistically, it's a situation where he does need to clean up this mess that he has made. Right, with whatever personally speaking, I hope it's not Rose Tyler, and I hope it's not for some reason the doctor temporarily chose this face, because been there, done that. I actually hope
I would give a picture for if it was Rose, just like it being like, because then you could justify with the dimension can somehow she came through from all
too complicated, requires too much knowledge.
Well, I actually thought it was quite simplest way in. I thought it was a real simple way in. She is projected from the other universe, so she's there. And then she goes.
Why? But why? Whereas
because she's trying to get back to her universe because there's a problem. I don't know.
Speaking of the fact that we're doing this on Doctor Who Day, who else can remember the wonderful 3-Doctor special that we got on this? What was it, 12 years ago? I don't want to say that out loud, but I think it might have been 12 years ago. What was the name of Billy Piper's weapon character in that? Was it The Event? It was something like that. The Moment. That's why, honestly speaking, I'm hoping it's, of all the weirdest things I could reference, I hope it is somehow the moment that is doing something to help reset the Doctor. Because that way it's at least still in universe. It's
I like that.
I don't know. That's the only thing I got. After that, though, yeah, we really need we need another situation where we don't have much of a known being the Doctor. Let's find somebody with great character and charisma who may have only done one series of something somewhere sometime.
Like Matt Smith was very much like that. He was known on stage, I think, before that.
Exactly. And then, like you guys mentioned, you really need a fresh set of writers on this, people with their ability to take their own ideas. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think we're also in a time where we do need to cut the budgets, and they need to be more restricted. So that way, one, we don't get unnecessary grandiosity, and it kind of gets back to the Doctor Who that people in my country remember from watching on public television late on a Saturday or Sunday night. You know what I mean? Let's get
may I say, this is an American saying you've gone too far and you need to scale it back. An American.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but it's true. It needs more of that kids show feel, if you will. You know what I mean?
This is it. Yeah, I want these like sci-fi shows to be a family show again. Like, I think Doctor Who, Star Trek, the beauty of them was they were for families, and now they put swearing in them for the sake of it. Like Picard, if you watch any of those series, don't watch season 1. I mean, I just watched all of them. You don't need to watch season 1. It's, I mean, I can catch up. Like, if you're gonna watch it, let me know I will give you a very quick explain on season 1, so you don't have to watch it, so you can watch season 2 and 3, and it's fine. But anyway, they just like that would have been the same show if you got rid of the swearing and made it so it's family friendly. You didn't have to change anything from the plots. And why not make Star Trek that everyone can watch, like that you can bring the next generation in on? And I want the same with Doctor Who. I think they sometimes do make it so that not everyone can watch it. And it's like, it's Doctor Who, that should be for everyone.
And can't we just get back to a quirky androgynous doctor? Or pardon me, sexually ambiguous?
Yeah.
I don't know what the proper term here is.
Yeah.
In my mind, even though I think the River Song pivot was a good, strong storytelling device, I prefer that my doctor is completely oblivious to anything and everything in relation to physical activities with another.
I will say, actually, I think River Song kind of changed my view on this, because I was like yourself, really. But it's like, now I feel like if you can make that character big enough that it's someone the Doctor would go, and like I don't mean to, it's no disrespect to any of the companions, but it's like, if you think about the age difference and everything, it just feels like, and for him to really relate to them on that level, they would have to have the experience of the universe he's got. I know he gets wonder out of experience the universe to his companions, but I just think someone has to be as big as him in that universal way.
Which is very hard to do when he's supposed to be the biggest and best in the universe. So,
well, exactly. And that takes the joy out of it as well. Like, it's like the whole point was the Time Lords were these pompous assholes, and like the Doctor was the salt of the earth, hang out down the pub with people, even though he knows stuff, he's not out of touch with people.
He was the bleeding heart liberal of the Time Lords.
Yeah, and that's why we like him. It's Lefty Zones, Lefty Christmas. So, Communist G, your question next.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm going to take a completely different tangent.
Sorry, he used to me playing the communist anthem when I introduced him. I'm sorry, I didn't have it queued up.
What's the worst alien you would find in your Christmas stocking?
Thing, because which still the fun. I've got to hand to them. They did create the most fun one to say, the pudding. Like, anyone got room for pudding? Anyway, because they would just eat through all the presents and everything.
Oh, you will?
I would think it would be, and I know this isn't exactly alien, but it's alien technology in nature. It would be one of the little adipose guys, because I imagine that would be uncomfortable, bad, and squishy when you were expecting, say, a tangerine, and instead you were jamming your hand into a sentient version of your own fat.
Yeah.
Nice. And yours, Mr. G?
Well, I'm going to disappear back in time, and I'm going to go with the giant maggot. So it's from the Green Death. So.
Although, if you've got one of those giant maggots in your stocking, how big is your stock? How many presents have you got in there?
Yeah, it's going to be a bit creepy at the end of your bed, squiggling away, isn't it? That kind of thing.
But you want to know what the best alien to have in your stocking? It was the memory erasing worm that we saw in the 2 series. Because then it was in there. I know we saw it in the Christmas special. It was just like a little slug. When what's his name was underneath working on it, and then the doctor even says, "Whatever you do, don't touch." Why am I under the carriage? Because it's a memory erasing worm. With Capaldi. You also saw it in the bank heist episode. Where they had to break into the bank and they had erased their own memories. And that would actually be the best one to have at the bottom of your stocking, because then everyone could just put your stocking back together and you get all the joy of opening it again.
I think I've got a better one, because I think he counts. It's a chameleon. He's an alien. So, like, then you can just be anyone you want for the day.
Well, true. Sort of thing. It doesn't move much, though, does he?
In the stocking, though.
I mean, he would get stuck suddenly and just everything. Yeah. And then we'd have to chuck him in a cupboard and never mention him again. I still can't get over that. It's like he was the Doctor companion and they just show him in a cupboard. Well, what a shame. Like, that was it. That was his exit. Have you got best one, Paul? Just since we're doing it.
Oh,
Yeah, we're going to make you think on the spot.
yeah. It's Cybermat, something like that. That seems like quite good fun. So.
Oh yeah. You just get like remote control one of those. It'd be great.
Yeah.
For Doctor Who special, you've got to pick which Doctor, which companion, and a kind of like an idea for a Christmas special. And it can be any it can be either an existing Doctor or you can pick someone you'd want to play the Doctor in a Christmas special.
Paul, you go first.
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah.
By the way, I've written these and I've had no time to think about any answers, so I'm on the same page to you guys.
Okay. I'm going to go with. I'm going to go Billy Piper as the Doctor. Sort of thing, because I'm doing my own Christmas special now for 2026. Sort of thing. It's set in the TARDIS, sort of thing. So no external locations, nothing else. It's almost like a travelling to the heart of the TARDIS, but it's where.
No, sorry, I'm gonna now just on the spot change the question to Paul's one. So you've got to work out how you get out of the Billy Piper paradox.
Okay. And my pitch is that you open, basically you go from one console room, and then whereas you'd normally go down the corridor, you are actually opening up into another console room where you will meet another Doctor. So you will meet McGann or somebody like that.
Yeah. Have you seen the controversial there's a debate on whether it's AI or real?
Yes, he did. He described it to me.
Yeah.
It's a picture of it's got Billy Piper in her outfit from the when she regenerated, and you've got Paul McGann dressed in, he does look like he does now, and he's in the Eighth Doctor outfit from the TV movie, but there's no reason why they wouldn't go, well, we've used that other outfit quite a bit now, let's bring in that old kind of costume. It's if they're saying it's from earlier on in his life, that would make sense. Yeah.
So I'd go with this. There's something going wrong with it. A breakdown of the iron harmony, or the something in the TARDIS sort of thing, and the time streams emerging. This is why you've got the Piper alternative sort of like Doctor sort of thing, and then you can just head off into the Kelvin universe or whatever it happens to be, that kind of thing.
Am I allowed to point out that you've nicked the plot from my first audio play, Doctor Who: The Time Trap, when the Doctor was
sort of thing. I think there was a limited audience and nobody showed any interest, so we've got no idea what that's about. So yeah.
Well, from my audio play, that's very true, actually. Yeah, this was not big. We made some money for charity, so it was nice.
Savage.
No. True, just true. But we made some money for charity, and I mean, to be honest with you, the first one did actually get over. I think it was a couple of thousand downloads we got on that one. And listens. That's not bad. But I'm going to actually try and get those up over Christmas. So, over the next month, where Doctor Squee Show is probably going to be, and the podcast are probably going to be kind of hiatusing until the new year, because I'm just working on getting everything back together, and so much happening behind the scenes at the Doctor Squee Show. So everything's going to be coming back, but I'll try and get those up over the period while I'm having a little bit of a break or breakdown, whichever comes first. Sorry, Will, back to you. What would you do to get us out of the Billy Piper Christmas paradox, I'm going to call it?
Well, I just all I want to do is see Paul's one now, because because as a fan of New Who, right?
Oh, sorry, Paul's one on my one. Is that what you mean?
Look, I don't care, Mom, Dad, don't bring me in the middle of this.
I didn't have the budget to bring in all the Doctors, I must admit.
Look, man, be quiet. It's my time to shine, okay? No, I was just going to say, as a fan of New Who, because I really had very limited experience with anything prior. One of the most fun episodes for me during Smith's era was The Doctor's Wife, which I believe was the one written by Gaiman that was the bodification, if you will, of the heart of the TARDIS. And it was very, very endearing to see Smith go into Tennant's and the other guys control room, right? the console room. That was just it was very endearing. So I would love to actually see that adventure, because again, I have, like I said, if you actually, what we do is we take Paul's idea and my idea and we merge it together. It's Billie Piper, but Billie Piper is the moment in this, and the reason, and she has to go through this she has to take the Doctor through this existential trip through all of the past incarnations to maybe tie together some through line that they somehow have come up that exists through all of this to help get the Doctor to their next best nature. And you can have anybody become the personification of the Doctor while the moment is occupying the Doctor, and you could pull in anybody. And if I could pull in anybody, if I'm going to see two people together, I want to see, let's bring back Matt Smith as the personification of the Doctor that's being taken on this journey. Now we've all stolen each other's ideas. Are you happy?
Well, no, I haven't stolen anyone's idea, so now I will. I'm kind of gonna like it's sort of a riff on that.
This is how a writer's room works, by the way, guys. We could
this.
I really wish we had pulled together a little tighter, because we could be working for the BBC soon.
And if anyone thinks I was being genuine with that, trust me, I don't expect anyone to remember those sort of like audio plays from years ago. But yeah,
we'll part in those. So
well, exactly, I'm very forgettable for these kind of reasons. I ain't joking, love you really. What I do is, so maybe like have the kind of build up you guys were mentioning that. And by the way, I think what RTDs is going to do with it is use it as a thing to, he loves doing callbacks to his own kind of Doctor Who work. So I think he's going to do it as the dimension cannon somehow was shot Rose through from the other dimension into the Doctor's body. She's taking it so she can do something which will, and it'll call back to all their kind of old adventures and stuff, but somehow it'll strengthen the barrier between her universe, which she lives in now, on this one, and it'll be fan wank towards the RTD years, past, present, and whatever. That's what I think he's gonna do, because it's RTD. But I think what would be cool is, you have the setup you guys said, but you go back to like, it's meant to be based on Christmases which the Doctor spent in the past. So he goes to different time zones, and you can have cameos from different people from the different Doctors in the past. So, you could go to any era of Doctor Who basically through which cameos you choose, and it can be them in later on in their lives. He's gone to see them at a later time. Or maybe it's like not even Christmases he spent in the past. He's just going to go to places where people are during Christmas who he's met in other adventures.
And remember, RTD in his headcanon said that with the bi-generation, his vision was throughout history now the Doctor has bi-generated as well. So you have a perfectly reasonable reason why you could see any Doctor that's still alive in their current age.
Yeah. I just think it would be kind of cool to do it as a kind of cameo fest for all the kind of people who've been in particular adventures. So like what he's got to do along the way, somehow there's one last thing he has to do to help that person out. And because it's Christmas, it feels like giving them a gift. And so, he's helping them out of another situation they're in. And the TARDIS knew that they had this one last bit of business together. And it's just like a nice way of revisiting those characters and everything.
It's kind of like how Dr. Sam Beckett went back and actually undid the fact that Al's wife got to know that he was alive and he would come home, thus changing everything. The one regret he had was the one thing he fixed. That's our version of Doctor Who.
So in summation, we also plagiarized Quantum Leap. So we got everyone, I think. There.
I think, man. How do we get Battlestar Galactica into this too?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, there's still more questions where we can nick from many other things. So your question next. But have you got enough time for one more?
I'll do one more.
One more for the road for Mr. G.
Mr.
Wilkins, sorry, from Mr. G.
Oh. Okay, right. Okay. So, if you could revisit any Christmas from your past using the TARDIS, which one would it be?
I've got one instantly comes to me because it was a moment of yeah, I'm going to blame the undiagnosed neurodiversity for this, but it was Christmas Day, and I came down, and Dad said, it's like, okay, well, we'll do the presents in a minute. Ian, why don't you go downstairs and like take out a rubbish bin or something, like something to take something out from the shop. I go, I'll just do it later, Dad, when I'm next going down. No, if you could just take them out and just put it outside or something. No, Dad, like I can't be, like, it's Christmas Day, let's just open the presents. Like, why are we bothering about Ian, could you just please go down and do it? It's like, I just lost it and just like had a meltdown instantly. Because again, like the timetable had gone off. I honestly think that's what it bothered me, as well as being a lazy little shit as well, probably. But I eventually went downstairs and saw the rally activator that me and my brother were given as our joint main present. And it was really lovely. And then I had to go back upstairs and say, thank you very much. That's really sorry about that. And it's just, yeah, I would go back then and go, yeah, sure, Dad, I'll go and I'll take that out, Dad. And be a lot nicer about things. Well,
yeah, I don't really have any great nostalgia, but I think the one I would go back to, I'm guessing, and I'm dating myself a bit here, but it's somewhere between 8 and 10, because I was raised by a single mother, and Dad wasn't always able to make his financial commitment. So, coming from very humble means, to discover under the Christmas tree that I received an Atari 2600 at the time was earth shaking. It was just like, this wasn't even a possibility on my radar. And at the same time, I would probably go back and tell my mom, don't give him this. He's going to become addicted to video games and not amount to anything in life. But yeah, that's
no, not anything in life. He's just going to be like the tech wizard for the pop culture god of our age who took over Stan Lee basically in the role. So it's nothing.
Yeah, we're all people. We all have stories. But yeah, that 2600, that was a magical time. And man, oh man, was I ever bitter to have to go to my grandma's house, because I just still wanted to keep playing Space Invaders. So that's it, because that was the most magic. Actually, you know what? It wouldn't even be a Christmas. It would be any time I was a kid, and it would be experiencing the level of excitement that would become incapacitating and take you away from the ability to sleep. Now as where we are in life, it's more like, what existential dread is keeping us up at night? But instead, just that level of excitement and hope. I would love to experience that again.
Can I just quickly, very much?
No, you can't let Paul talk.
That was really beautiful, is what I was going to say, and I just want to give a shout out. I was going to.
Thank you. Yeah.
As this goes out, I don't know what the state of play is going to be, but currently my mum is not very well, and it just made me think of like when I was talking about those meltdowns and stuff. Mum was always there for me, like in Christmas is a time of gratitude, and I just really appreciate her always being there for me, even when I was being a little like I was saying before. And it sounds like your mum was very much there for you, as I'm sure Mr. G was. So Mrs. G, OG was for you, Paul. But to the mums.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
I have no drink.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just because you so beautifully said that, it just made me want to do that. So,
thanks, man. Paul?
But you're right to tell me to shut up and let Paul talk.
Yeah, so it's there's a couple basically. There's two sort of thing. There's one, I lost my mum at Christmas, so that would be a Christmas to visit again, that kind of thing. So that was where you sort of like possibly take a little bit more time than you did because you were just running around doing the normal busy things at Christmas, sort of thing. But the other one was, and I just about remember this when I was very, very young, sort of thing. My grandfather, who used to build these beautiful model planes for me. Well, not for me, sort of thing, but it was his hobby, sort of thing. He would make these things out of balsa and dope, and as in dope, which is like a resin sort of thing.
I was going to say, was he getting high while he was doing it? I mean,
it's the only way to build.
Yeah.
So he would make these because that's what he did as a job. So this is what he did as his hobby, sort of thing. And he built me this Lancaster bomber, sort of thing, as a kid, sort of thing. And I got it for Christmas. And within 5 minutes of getting it, I sat on it and broke it. And And even though I was young, I can still see the disappointment in his face that the hours that had gone into this beautiful model sort of thing. You sort of, and you just go back, and if you could just grab myself by the scruff of the neck and stop me from basically doing this one thing, and sort of like standing there with two halves of a plane in my hand, that kind of thing. So yeah.
Do you know, actually that wraps up perfectly, because one of the other bits which I'm doing for this is me and a couple of the director and the main star of It's a Wonderful Life, which I'm in. We're releasing this in time for just before the run. And when James Stewart was building model airplanes, apparently with Henry Fonda, they were like best friends, and they could just sit there for hours in complete silence, and just suddenly goes like, could you pass me that like tool over there, or like that bit? And that's it. And they'd just be sat inside and happy as Larry. And since Jimmy Stewart is so linked into Christmas as well, perfect timing. Thank you very much for joining us, Will. Paul, you stay right there. I am going to magic, and I might look suddenly dressed differently. And God knows, beard back, I don't know. But yeah, Eliza, come into frame. Oh, that side, I don't know. I don't even know what side I'm pointing at. We have Michelle, who has now officially been called short by a little person. My life is complete. And we welcome this.
I'm looking tiny here as well.
I'm sorry, it had to be done. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Anyway, please now welcome from Due South. We're doing a Due South by Southeast takeover of Outrageous Liers. Please welcome Tom. We got Catherine, and we got Ed. How you doing, guys?
Good.
Hello. Hang on. Let me put that up. Can you hear me okay there?
Yeah.
Yep. Great. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Been really looking forward to this. And who doesn't want an excuse to have more Due South themed footage in here?
I have a question. Why do I have a QR code above my shoulder?
If you scan this, you keep Tom going. That's how it works. It's a sort of like, it's instead of solar power, it's QR power. But no, you can donate, of course, to the wonderful
scan it, and you'll scan it, and you'll see me naked. Okay, sure. Oh,
and speaking of which, the views of the panelists may not reflect the views of the Al Center charity.
Oh,
or
and
the
certainly,
other panelist.
Yeah,
okay.
Certainly, a lot of the stuff I say really doesn't, work for anyone else's viewpoint. But Ed, over to you, sir.
Hello, everyone. So let's get on with Outrageous Liers. A bit of background. This is a panel show that has its origins in science fiction events like Worldcon and the Sci-Fi Ball. Essentially, the BBC yelled at us for stealing their ideas, so we came up with something better, and that is Outrageous Liers. Each of you will be prompted. We are gathered here today to obviously tell tales of our amazing exploits and guarantee that they're 100% true. I'll just quickly, for anyone who needs to know the rules, go through what the rules are. I'm going to prompt each one of these lovely people with a ridiculous prompt, essentially, and ask them to regale a 100% true story about their amazing adventures and what they have been up to. They have 3 minutes to tell us the story, and at any point, anyone else can interrupt. If they interrupt correctly, they get a point. I ask you, if you interrupt, to address me so I can address them, because that just works better and we can get more stuff in. And when you get to about a minute, I'll warn you that you have a minute left. When you have 30 seconds, I'll warn you that you have 30 seconds left. When you get to the end, if you can confirm that it's 100% true, hand on heart, absolutely not a lie, you'll get an extra point as well. Obviously, the points are extremely serious and incredibly important to the game, and you should take them very, very seriously from the start. And with all of that... and also, if you want to get an additional bonus point, if you can work in a plug for your stuff, then you'll get a bonus point as well. Honestly, or a plug for something else.
Work in a what?
Plug.
Like
a promo.
No, a plug for what, though?
Anything you fancy, really. But,
any of your work, like,
a bit of self-promotion.
Okay. Yeah, self-promotion is what we're after.
Yeah. Catherine's homemade chili.
For example.
24/7.
Now that everyone is thoroughly confused and other people are trying to figure out what the hell my accent is,
You have an accent?
I have, yeah. No.
Oh.
It's kind of confusing. Anyway, I'm going to join. I'm going to put my tongue back in, and I'm going to start with Doctor Squee himself. So, Doctor Squee, tell us about the time that you reinvented the wheel to be more disco.
But before I do that, are we going to introduce the buzzer segment of it?
Oh, we should do. That's an exceptionally good point. So everyone can interrupt and buzz in. If you have acquired a buzzer or something that makes noise, or you have a particularly loud whoop, there we go.
Catherine, just bang your water bottle. Like, trust me, someone's used a shoe before now. It's
That'll do.
How come Dr. Squee got the prompts? We didn't get any.
You did get prompts. I did send prompts across.
You didn't send one.
They might have been intercepted by monsters. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm all improvisers here. You guys do this. Come on. You teach the young of today, Tom, in improv. I'm not having any excuses from this. I got the pros in this time. Come on.
All right.
Do you know what? I'm just having this moment of going, oh no, I did send them. I'm going to
Tom
blame...
also ADHD.
Too late now.
Too late now. I'm going to blame the evils of Gmail. So eventually we'll get to the start of the show. This is everyone gains a point. And here we go. So, Dr. Squee, can you tell us about the time that you reinvented the wheel to be more disco?
Yeah. So I was working, actually, not a lot of people know this about my work as a custom garage owner. They got Pimp My Ride off me. I don't like to talk about the court case, but coming for you, exhibit? Is it exhibit? Well, one of them. Anyway, but yeah, I was working in this garage and someone came in with this car and they had flares on. I was thinking, it's like, you know what? I can see some improvements. We can make this car straight away. Like, that wheel needs to be more disco. And it was this lovely couple. And this guy said, it's like, yes, we're having a baby. And the woman goes, hey, Zoe's having a baby. Zoe's having a baby starring Tom Melissis. Anyway, brilliant. So, you want a bit more fun in your life when you're driving along. So, first of all, I, of course, fitted the disco wheel. There were some mixed things with that. Yes, it looked pretty and it was shiny and it was very nice and everything. It blinded a couple of drivers and came spinning off and caused a crash which killed 7. But I think generally that's glass half full for myself anyway. Then, of course, if you're going to make it more disco, you need some lights. So, again, the blinding issue did take part. Another 7 dead. Look, who's counting? 14 so far. But that's not important. It was a lovely idea. Like, people partied. When they were parked, people would dance around. Unfortunately, yes, it was in the middle of traffic, so they did get run over. We're up to 35 dead.
Interruption.
Mr. Ed, could you please ask Dr. Squee how he incorporated his mirror balls in this story?
That's a very good question. Dr. Squee, tell us all about your lovely weighty mirror balls and how they were incorporated.
Well, as I say, they were like, first of all, like Mr. Ed. I totally approve of that being his new name on this. But yeah, like, so I had the mirror ball kind of either side. They were kind of things that spun off and killed a few in traffic. Admittedly, after my first experiment with one, some might say that I should have taken it back to the drawing board and not fitted another 3. I think it was 37 dead. The 38th was just maimed on that occasion. So
1 minute.
I think it was only 83 dead. They had a wonderful car. The kid loved the music. And I thought it was a raging success. But the courts, being the way they are, they refused to see the magic, which was the disco car, and the wheel, which was an integral part of this. And most of all, everything I said. Did you say about 30 seconds or 10 seconds?
No,
so,
you have 35 seconds left.
Oh, okay, right. I was going
plenty of time for other people to.
So then I was like, of course, the problem we're having is scale.
Tom.
Mr. Ed, I think Dr. Squee is omitting a very important fact of the story, that there was a famous celebrity dancer, disco dancer, that was omitted from his story. Could you please include that?
Yes, I seem to recall as well when you told the story last time. You talked about your famous disco dancer friend and associate. Tell us more about that.
Thing is, I didn't know technically any dancers, but I was aware of Twiggy, the model, and I was just seeing Blues Brothers. You know, she's in that scene, and I thought, oh, this is great. Like, I'll just get her to do it. She was in her 60s at the time. It was, you know, some said it was ill-conceived, but I just went with it. I thought, let's not be ageist here. So her role was to dance on top of the car while the wheels were going, like, you know, to add to the theme of the wheel. And that was the 101st death. And I can confirm everything I've said was completely and utterly true, as the courts will testify, unfortunately.
That's 4 points for
Willow
Mr. Squee for getting all the way through and also confirming it's true, and some bonus points for Tom for some excellent interruptions as we go on to using the high-tech laser display board that I have in front of here, which definitely isn't a pencil and a piece of paper. So, and that is how the game is played. So, moving on.
I mean,
Tom.
did we accompany your bubble bath, or have you switched it on since? So, anyway, sorry, back to you, Ed.
Tom, tell us about the time that you saved the world using a goldfish and 10 tons of kale.
Oh my goodness, that story. Holy crapola. Oh my God. So there I was. I was at a pet shop. I was 8 years old at the time. And I was so lonely because, you know, my family and I had gone through 7 dogs and 8 cats. I was a really sadistic kid. I wrestled with them and I'd, you know, break limbs and they'd eventually die. Or
Dr. Squee.
Yeah, Ed, I was just wondering if he was going to get into, I think he's trying to sweep it under the carpet, but the legal case which came because they ate cats.
Oh, the cat eating scandal. Yes, please. Tom, can you explain to us more the horror that is the cat consumption?
I was so ashamed of that second of my life. You see, we had 8 cats, and the truth of the matter was we were like my mom and dad were supermodels, and they needed to lose weight before every runway show. So we would eat cats because they were low in calories. And what happened was the SPCA would show up at her door, they'd investigate, and then my mom would say, but hey, look who it is. And they'd recognize my mom as a supermodel, and we got off the case, and the case was dismissed. Anyway, thanks for bringing that up. It's a very touchy subject, but I have to go through it, and I worked through it. Anyway, back to my original story. You see, when they took away all the cats and dogs, we thought, well, is there something that I could have that would be safe and I wouldn't kill it? We decided to decide on a goldfish. So we went down to the local pet shop. Well, it was actually a secondhand discount pet shop. You see, there were like dogs that stuttered, that bark, you know, discounted pets. So we found a goldfish that actually wasn't goldfish. He was bronze because we couldn't afford real goldfish. The fact with this goldfish, he was vegan. What a crazy thing, a vegan goldfish. And when we took him home, we didn't look closely at him enough. His eyes glowed. They're like a radiation glowing through his eyes, and they shot up into
Dr. Squee.
And of course, Ed, I'm just assuming because it's a vegan goldfish, it went on about it all the time. We know we do it even in goldfish form, so maybe you'd like to speak a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Can you explain the vegan bore syndrome that was there?
Yeah, the vegan goldfish, very irritating because every time we'd be at the table having steak and potatoes and mash, the goldfish is going, hey, you're not going to live as long as I because I live a healthy life, you know. That was his voice, you know. I eat vegan food. And in fact, I eat nothing but kale. And that's why his bowl was green, because his poop would pollute the whole bowl, which brings me to the point about the laser eyes.
1 minute.
That's how we knew where he was, because his laser eyes shot through the green cloud, and he went into the sky and realized, oh my goodness, a huge asteroid was coming towards Earth. And the only thing that could stop this asteroid was our goldfish laser eyes. So we kept feeding him.
Catherine.
Ed, can you remind Tom that the goldfish was blind in one eye, or both eyes, right?
Yeah. No, I seem to recall the goldfish was in fact blind in one eye. You know?
Yeah.
Actually, did it have a wicked eye patch? Was that?
It did. It had an eye patch. We called him Captain Squawk, and he lost his eye.
30 seconds.
He lost his eye because, as I said earlier, I was really careless with pets, and I took him out and I was playing darts with him, and I had a few Guinness, right? And the dart poked him in his eye. He lost it. So, okay, thanks for bringing that up, Catherine. Anyway, we made up. We're good friends. But back to the story. The laser beams were heading toward the asteroid, heading towards Earth. But every time the laser beam would fade out. He needed more kale. So he kept feeding him more kale, and the laser beam got strong, and it burst the asteroid before it hit Earth, and it saved the whole planet. And I tell you, that story is the whole truth, nothing but the truth. I swear to my higher powers.
Points for Tom, Dr. Squee, and Catherine for interruptions and ridiculous questions. And yes, what an amazing and true story there, Tom. Thank you very much. And it's always a pleasure to hear that particular tale. He said, buying time while he reads his notes. Catherine, tell us about the time that you introduced Rufus the talking dog to the United Nations.
Oh my goodness. Well, that is a very strange and weird story, in particular because I'm highly allergic to dogs, like to the point where I get asthma. So this specific dog was a neighbor's dog, and I would always think it was the neighbor talking. And one time when they had me go in and water their plants when they were away, I wore my mask, my gloves. They knew to keep Rufus in a separate room. I went over and I heard the talking again. So I was like, okay, there's no one here. And Rufus would reply, actually, yeah, there's someone here. And I went to the room, I peeked in, and he was like, yeah, it's me. I talk. And I was blown away, right? So I wasn't planning to go to the United Nations, but Rufus really needed to be walked. And I was living in New York at the time, near where the United Nations hold a meeting.
Tom.
Yeah.
Hello, Ed. Is it possible you could remind Catherine about, since Rufus was a good talker, he revealed a very deep, dark, scandalous secret about Catherine's personal life.
Oh, yeah, about that blackmailing thing that he had going on.
It was horrible. He announced to everyone as I was taking him on this walk, already in my gloves and my mask, and this was way before the pandemic, so I looked crazy, that I had, oh my goodness, this is so embarrassing, that I had really hairy legs. And of course, it wasn't something that, I really wanted everybody to know, because they're unusually hairy, not just like a man's hairy. They're kind of like Wolverine hairy. So I always wear pants. And maybe that's why Rufus could talk to me. I'm not sure. But anyway, as we were approaching the United Nations.
Tom, with an interruption.
Well, yeah. Ed, could you please tell Catherine that I'd like to know more about the hair, because I know she sheared the hair and she made a great clothing line. And could you explain how to get her to tell us how that was a great fashion line and how the success of it?
Catherine, tell us about your hairy leg fashion.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, Tom, because, someone having allergies to dogs, like I'm not allergic to human hair. So, and I also didn't like the idea of hurting animals to get fur coats or whatever. So this was my way of sort of giving back to vegans, in braiding my leg hair or sort of infiltrating it into clothing and putting it on fabric and creating purses. So yeah, that was a great thing. It was called Hair for Day. It was kind of like, Hair for Day. Sorry, go ahead.
It's going off eventually. Yeah, I was curious about, I remember you did the advert for that product, Ed, that Catherine did an advert for that product, and you got into a little bit hot water for some of the stuff the dog was saying.
Oh, yes. Tell us about the advertising agency's scandalous dog conversation. Also, we're at 1 minute.
Okay, yes, it was not a good idea to bring Rufus to some of the commercials. He just talked in the background, and he mentioned the fact that I used some of his hair one time because I had taken so much and made so many purses, I had to use some of his. And then he proceeded to show the patch on the back of his right butt cheek. But anyway, on the way to New York, oh, is Rufus here?
Well, I was just, I'm sorry about some of the stuff she just said. Those views do not represent the answer.
Okay. I know what she said.
That's not okay.
Understands it, but as we
30 seconds and we'll get the legal department involved.
To go to the United Nations, we were just passing by, and I was pulled in because of the mask and the gloves, and was brought in by security. And then I had to explain to the whole group that this is Rufus the talking dog, and they were all fascinated, and they asked him for his view for all animals, and he gave ridiculous comments about what they should and shouldn't do, to the point where they thought we were both crazy and took us away for psychiatric treatment. And that's how it happened. And every bit of this story is 100% true.
Thank you very much. And just as a matter of record keeping, we did give a point there to Dr. Squee's dog, just to keep everything fair, for the interruption. So far, so good.
justgiving.com/page/thinkowl, everyone. You can scan the QR code right there.
Yeah, the
Just
one.
laptop.
Good one.
That one. See, when I see it, I think it's over there, but it might be over there or that way. You can tell with modern
It's next to Tom and my screen anyway.
So,
yeah, look, there's one QR code on the screen. It's not a complicated premise, guys. I'm just saying, like the one QR code on the screen, that's the one. That's it.
And moving on to our fourth contestant, Michelle, could you regale us with the amazing tale, an absolutely true story of the teleporting hamster and the international frisbee contest?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that one up, actually. Absolutely. So this was actually my daughter's hamster. So we're going back a couple of years now. My daughter had this hamster, and I've always absolutely loved playing frisbee. And luckily for me, quite locally in our local common, we have an international frisbee contest every year. Every year I go along, I absolutely love it, but I'm rubbish. And my daughter recommended to me this year that I take her hamster, it's like a little mascot, and it was up on my shoulder. But no, it's like giving it a little stroke.
Dr. Squee?
And I'm just checking here, just for legal grounds, if she's going to get into the mishap with the hamster on her shoulder and reaching for a frisbee. I might have to get legal involved. That's all.
Yes. Explain to us the legal ramifications of the frisbee hamster relations.
I admit, at first, it didn't look good. But as a bonus, this hamster went on to go on national television because people were filming with their phones. It went on Big Brother as a contestant. It had a very profitable career. And I think we've all seen him. We all know how good he is. He was the absolute highlight of Big Brother last year. And yes, this hamster is getting on in years now.
Catherine.
Ed, can you ask Michelle to talk about the time the hamster gave her a very large hickey-like mark, and she had to talk about her side relationship with the hamster?
And for legal hickey-like.
Yes, and I'd like to say hickey-like. It was more of a bite. See, when you actually get a hickey, it's when someone's kind of sucking on your neck. Now that I know it may have looked like it in those pictures, but I assure you that's not what happens.
Dr. Squee.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, what about the lab results then, Ed? What about the lab results?
Yes, actually, what about the lab results?
Again, I mean, nothing is looking very favourable here, but when you're in the public eye, as the hamster was, and everyone is always following you, taking pictures, there's paparazzi everywhere, things can be manipulated. And yes, it's a little harder to manipulate lab results, I admit. But I would like to say, I mean, I work in a hospital, and I got one of the doctors to have a look as well. And I said, look, this really isn't looking very good for me. Can you please help me putting out a press statement?
Tom.
Yeah, Ed, there's a point there I read about in the papers. Michelle's omitting is that she was almost taken away by child care services because her children were eating wood shavings.
Oh, yes. No, I did read somewhere in the Daily Mash, I think it was, about the whole wood shaving incident. Could you explain this more? Also, you have 1 minute left.
Yes, and a lot of this came down, I'm a vegan, and we get, there's always a lot of backlash when you're a vegan. People accuse you a lot of things, and it wasn't that I was feeding my children wood chips. They just got a little bit of a liking to it. And at first I didn't know that they were actually eating these wood chips, but I couldn't deny it once the photos came out. I spoke to my children about this, and I've said, this doesn't look good. Can you please, eat a little bit of greenery as well, please. You've got to think about your health. This isn't going to be good for you long term. We've had all of these conversations. And now they have, they started nibbling on carrots as well. You'll be glad to hear. They nibble on...
Interruption from Dr. Squee there, please.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you're going to get to the breakup, like, if Michelle was going to get to the breakup between her and the hamster due to some envy about the hamster's height.
Sorry, the hamster.
The height of the
Hamster's height, yes. There's a substantial height difference between yourself and the hamster. Apparently,
It's a
did cause some
regular-sized
issues. Also, you
Yeah.
have 30 seconds left.
Thank you. There was a little bit of jealousy. Normally I'm the short person in the relationship, but the hamster he was just really struggling, and I think eventually he wants something of his own height, and I took him to a pet shop and we had to look to say, like, you take your pick, whoever you want, I will buy them, we'll take them home, we'll see if you get on with them. And then he did find someone, found a lovely little lady hamster. We bought them, took them home, and they lived together happily ever after. And it's absolutely a true story, and all the press is out there to prove it. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your fantastic and utterly true story. The scores and after the first round is we have Dr. Squee at 10, and we have Tom at 11. We have Catherine at 6, Michelle at 5, and Dr. Squee's dog at 1. So.
Well, that dog does like to get in the lead.
Oh dear.
Oh, sorry, it's plugs, not puns. I remember now.
And back on to round 2, where all the stakes are well sharpened and medium rare. So, Dr. Squee, what is the tale of you growing the longest tail?
Yes, the biological experiments, of course. I knew they were going to come up eventually. So the mechanic business wasn't going too well. There have been apparently too many deaths and too many disco wheels. So I instead, of course, went to experimentation. And being a dog lover, of course, I noticed my dog at the time, Dottie, and Willow was just a pup at the time, that they enjoyed wagging their tail. I thought, well, if they enjoyed that, let's grow a really big one. There was a few Geneva conventions I might have sidestepped in the creation. Admittedly, first of all, trying to attach the tail to a human. Apparently, you have to check that they don't have allergies first. This particular person was allergic to dogs. Okay, another 5 were added to the death tally at this stage. I don't know why people make such a big thing about it. You just kill 105 people through some car and medical experiments, and suddenly you're a bad guy. But anyway, sorry.
Tom.
Yes, Mr. Ed, could you please ask Dr. Squee to elaborate on an incident at a child's birthday party, a very embarrassing moment with he and his tail?
Oh, yes, the infamous birthday party tail incident. Please remind us all the details.
Well, I thought, there'd probably be kids which were worried about this process. So I decided to go in educationally, and I thought a birthday, what better present than knowledge? So I went there to talk about the enormous tail, which is about yay big at the time. But when I tell it, and the other tail will be yay big. Anyway. And I'd been experimenting with this guy. His name was Gray. So I was playing about with Gray's Anatomy, which Catherine Bruhier, of course, was in. Anyway, I was working on Gray's Anatomy, and I was telling this tale at this kid's birthday party. I got to the bit where Gray passed away, and this kid was so sensitive. How was I to know that Gray was the child's dad? Look. And I thought he'd made it, but it turns out while I was at the party, actually, it turns out it was very bad timing. 107
1 minute.
So, I then went underground with the experiments, because then the heat was really on. Kids, I had dogs like after me.
Ed, can you ask Dr. Squee to talk about the fact that the tail wasn't on the dog, it was on him?
Yeah, actually, we do seem to be slightly confused. That is your tail, isn't it?
Yeah. So, like, unfortunately, once Gray had passed away, and a couple other subjects we won't go into, I thought it was only fair to experiment on myself. It's not my fault I cracked it just when I attached it to myself. And sorry, Michelle, I accidentally hit it with a tail. But yeah, it got to such a length. I thought this needs a human to carry this around, and like I thought, being neurodivergent, a vegan, and pretty much on the edge of society in every other way, the tail was the natural conclusion.
30
to my
seconds,
if you will. And I've been through kind of like loads of different experiments with different people who
Tom.
Oh, Tuss, Mr. Ed, could you tell Dr. Squee to elaborate on that accident he had at the mall going up the escalator with the tail?
Oh, yes, the terrible incident about the escalator and the tail. Please tell us more.
I was just saying, it's like I'd done these experiments on 3 subjects. I'd stopped using their actual name because of the Gray situation. So subject N, subject H, subject S, the NHS where Michelle works. Anyway, so after that, I thought I would just show people there's nothing to worry about. Went on an escalator, got caught in there, out, and it's all true.
That's an extra point for speaking as for confirming that it's entirely true. He said almost getting the rules slightly wrong because it's very similar to a different game. And moving on, thank you very much for your tale of the tales. And moving on to Tom. Tom, can you tell us all? I mean, we've heard it before, obviously, but other people are here and they will also want to hear this tale. It's a tale we've heard many times before. But can you tell us about the time that you got Olympic gold for juggling goats?
Oh, well, that's a long history. As you know, I am of Macedonian descent, and we are a proud Slavic people from a line of shepherds. And in the hills, we would herd goats. Goats. But the thing is, we lived in a small little village called Banitsa, not known across the world at all. And our neighboring village was called Turberville. They were popular. They produced Olympic champions. They had fashion models all over the world.
Dr. Squee.
He didn't tell us about the direction he went into to go to Hubville. I believe he went due south.
Well,
might be on a couple of people's CVs.
Tell us about that. You know what? I've got very fond memories of that direction.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it.
Well, it's a great direction, which we entertained us for many years.
Yeah. Well, it turns out one of the goats was actually a wolf in sheep's clothing, and wolf had Canadian DNA. And we discovered one morning. How did we discover that? Well, one morning it was eating poutine. Everyone else was grazing on the grass, but this particular sheep, goat as it were, we couldn't tell what it was actually a wolf eating poutine. Canadian. We said, darn, that's a Canadian. Drinking Tim Hortons coffee, Dunkin' Donuts, and we said, we gotta get to the bottom of this. But it led us astray to the next village, and that's where we discovered that this village was doing better than us in so many categories.
Catherine.
Ed, can you ask Tom to elaborate on his goat juggling accident that ended up injuring 5 women?
Oh yes, the terrible goat juggling accident that injured 5 women. I still remember that to this day.
That's a sensitive subject with our family because those 5 women were my sisters. And what we were doing, see the particular goats we had sharp hooves and horns, very sharp. There's really weird mutations. And I was juggling them. And I said, hey, Sylvia, catch. Hey, Myrna, catch. So they weren't paying attention. These girls were napping. And the goats landed on them and severed different parts of their bodies. It was really disgusting. It was horrible. And I fled. I fled the town. I was banished from the town.
Dr. Squee.
Well, yeah, and I hear you used a series of gates to go through, and you'd put these gates up everywhere because you didn't want to fence the goats in. So you finally got to one on the border, but you got in a lot of trouble suggesting that Canada should be the 51st gate, I believe. No one liked it.
Yes, that whole gate controversy.
Yeah, that was something that to this very day we haven't resolved. This whole thing about should our village become a part of Canada? Because of the wolf that was disguised as a sheep, and we had banished that wolf, and now people said, oh, you know what? You owe us. You should become one of us. So now my village is a part of Canada indirectly, but they liked my juggling of goats skills. So that's when they decided to fly me off to Paris for the Olympics. And I was juggling goats like this. I was juggling them like this through my legs.
1 minute.
Juggling them up and up and up and up. And all the judges were stunned.
Catherine.
Can you talk about the incident at the Olympics where the goats were also craving the poutine and you weren't anywhere near it, so you had to make your own?
Well,
yes, the potato incident at the Olympics.
Yeah, potato or poutine, same difference. You say potato, I say poutine. But the thing was, we did not know that was a banned substance. So therefore, after the goat took their urine samples to the judges, they found out that they had too much poutine in their system and they were disqualified. But they felt sorry for me and they awarded me the gold medal. And that's why I'm the only juggler who really never juggled to get a gold medal at the Olympics. And that story, my friends, is true to my heart. I swear it's the total truth.
And for speaking whilst, for confirming that the entire speech is true, you get a bonus point. And incidentally, Michelle, is your buzzer working? Are you okay with your buzzer?
Yes, I'm just enjoying the stories too much.
No, I just had a moment of wild panic while you were like, and I was like.
And by the way, thank you for resisting the temptation. I was delivering you up the 51st gate to anything you want to lay into there. I was just ready for it. We're with candor on this show. That's what I'm saying.
Hey there, doozers. It's me, Tom Melissis, wishing you a belated Merry Christmas and happiness, prosperity, and health for 2026. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.
And that, guys, is how we're going to solve world hunger. We got that, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, they're telling me in my earpiece they got it. It's fine, okay, yeah. Standard, we've got, once again, Mr. G joining me to represent Christmas past.
And old people everywhere.
And also, I've forgotten the joke I was going to make. Anyway, there we go. Sorry, and we've got the youth, which, you know, after years of mocking Mr. G's age, I've said in recent years, it's more of a companionship joke. Like, I'm agreeing with him more than anything now, but especially when we want certain people to get off our lawns. Please welcome Saskia.
Hello.
Your youth intimidates us. Get off our lawn. Anyway. And yeah, you know some Doctor Who, but not too much. But you came up with funny answers, so
yeah,
you were in.
Right.
Yeah, last minute replacement, but very happy to have you here. Let's see how much we can get this one off the rails. You and me start, Paul. Shall I?
Go for it. Far away.
What is the best Xmas special and why? Did we do this one?
We didn't do this one. No.
Okay, so we got one question in from my list last time. We didn't. Okay, right. I'm going to say, well, I mean, I think it's got to be Christmas Carol, but I want to give a very, very honourable mention to Last Christmas, and also the Doctor, the Doctor, the Witch, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. Doctor Widow, I think, but yeah. I think we all know why Christmas Carol one was so good. It just had like the traditional Scrooge story with a twist on it. It brought on all the timey-wimey. It's a lot of people's favourites. I would say Last Christmas is really great because it had that kind of like, it was Nick Frost doing the very jovial Santa. You've got Peter Capaldi really getting to do his entire emotional range in it. They come to terms with what happened at the end of the series before, so there's a lot of dramatic stakes. The companion and the Doctor haven't seen each other for a while, so they're all unpacking that. It's just it's every Christmas is your last Christmas, and just that saying goodbye to someone at Christmas time, I thought was just really poignant. And then you've got on the other side of it, the Widow and the Wardrobe one, and it's just so sweet at the end when he flies back, and it always brings me to tears. And then the Ponds welcome back the Doctor, and it just, that's a big emotional hit for me. So those are my picks, but yeah, probably Christmas Carol at the end of the day.
Okay.
Next.
I'm tempted by The Runaway Bride. That's one that's always, I think that's just good fun. And I think because it introduces Donna, effectively, sort of thing, who, to be honest, is one of my...
Only meant to be a one-off on that point, and so well written.
Yeah. And I think she was just so strong in that sort of thing that it was such a great way to sort of like, kick off her era, to be honest, sort of thing, her season. So that's one that always stands out for me. And also I quite like The Next Doctor as well. I always find that sort of quite an interesting one, sort of thing, because you get David Morrissey, I think, playing he thinks he's the Doctor, and and there's elements to it. But it's kind of sort of sad in a way, but I think it's quite a good one as well. So it's
the most endearing Doctor Who thing he does is it's like, so in what way is that Sonic? Because he's just got an ordinary screwdriver. He just taps on a bit of wood and goes, makes a sound. That's Sonic. And I love it. It's a sort of answer the Doctor would give.
Yeah.
You could just picture Tom Baker saying that line. It's just little moments like that, and it's heartbreaking when he realizes he's a guy who lost his family at Christmas when the Cybermen landed. He doesn't realize it. He's accidentally got a data file which beamed into his brain, which made him think he was an incarnation of the Doctor. Okay. So the Doctor finds him and thinks it is his next incarnation. It's really cool, and and when he realizes and he remembers his family's dead, it's just heartbreaking. But so good.
Yeah, but there's something about those classic Christmas tales mixed with that sci-fi edge, creating a new thing at the same time, that if you hit the emotional right on it, it will always work well.
Anything more on The Runaway Bride? The Next Doctor?
I think also like the setting, it puts you back in that Victorian, Dickensian kind of Christmassy kind of story. So it feels like a Christmas story sort of thing, though it has got this almost, almost like cyberpunk kind of Cybermen kind of element to it, I think, from memory. So it's
the Cybermen are really cool. I mean, Cyber King I could probably have done without because it looks horrible in CGI, but the idea of it's great. And so when they show close up of her, it looks great. But then when you zoom out, they didn't have the budget for that.
No, exactly, sort of thing. But that's when imagination sort of allows you to sort of put that to one side. So,
well, I've said before, I think the thing is, it's the fact they're starting off cheap, but the fact that the CGI won't age, but it's starting off not age very well. It's the kind of wobbly sets I think of today. It wasn't literally wobbly sets because I know Toby Haydock hates that. I know it was only into Adventures the second. I know Toby. I meant as a metaphor for a cheap budget. And in the same way, I think the CGI is the one which will be remembered as the wobbly sets of the new hero era.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to say, that's always the danger. It doesn't matter what you look at, sort of thing. CGI just ages or doesn't look good at the time, sort of thing, or sort of thing. But yeah.
I just want to quickly point out that I did ask Mr. G, and he kindly has fested up the background and everything. I got a list of stuff bits off camera because I actually use my tablet because I'm having problems with my computer. So ironically, after asking you that, nothing in shot, which is festive here. So I'll hold up my advent calendar for a little bit.
We can yin and yang between the
Mr. G, married man as well. Oh. What's you going to say?
Oh God!
Have you got a Christmas special that you like from Doctor Who?
This is gonna be a very. So I never really have watched many of the Christmas ones because we didn't really watch a lot of stuff at Christmas. Let's spin the question for you then. Which one do you remember? Do you remember any details from them? Oh, no pressure.
It doesn't matter. If you think of anything, it's all good. It's all great. We're having fun here.
Springing off at the moment, but if I think of it.
Do you remember David Tennant in his first one? And it's very Arthur Dente, the dressing gown and everything.
He wasn't in it for most of it, was it? Sort of the first 20 minutes.
Well, what would you? What's
I'm just curious,
Arthur
Dente kind of.
Yeah.
No, the more you guys talk, the more I'll probably remember stuff. And like, as you've been talking,
So
rings a bell.
So after we finish recording, you'll be really great for this.
Probably.
Yeah,
I've seen bits of the Christmas one.
Yeah.
But never fully sat down and went.
I've forgotten how many there was. I mean, obviously, you could sort of say, well, there's one every year. It's a Christmas special sort of thing. So
not necessarily. There were some off years.
Yeah, sort of. But yeah, you thought, Voyage of the Damned and the Snowmen and things like that sort of thing. You sort of and you forget about them sort of thing. Maybe I ought to do like a Christmas rewatch. So, yeah.
Let's get into more questions though. Come on. Like, this is good. We've chewed the fat on that one now. Let's see.
Okay.
Now we're just bringing in all the Christmas specials, which I'd quite happily do. But we wrote some questions. We should add them.
Okay. Well, my one is you open a Christmas cracker. Which gadget from Doctor Who falls out?
It have to be in Sonic. I'm gonna like, let's just say Sonic's ruled out. Yeah? Because everyone's gonna pick something else then. I think that's fair because Sonic's gonna be the most real answer. Although actually no, Saskia's allowed to pick the Sonic because that's probably the answer she knows, so that's fine.
Which is what we classify as a gadget.
Well, I don't think he's got a sex dungeon in there. Like I know, sorry, she's like I know she's young, but she's agreed. Anyway.
Moving on swiftly.
Just kidding. I'm just getting sorry. Never mind. Anyway, so we got I'm just trying to think. Like, so you got psychic paper. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I think I want just the endless pockets, which you can just seem to pull anything out of. Like the way my pockets are such a mess. The Doctor just grabs a handful and it's like within about 5 items he's found what he's looking for, which would be a new record for me, quite frankly. And you wouldn't have them weighed down. I think he's got to have a secret dimension in those pockets. That's how I'm guessing it's working. So I want the Doctor Who pockets so I can fit everything in and not have a hunchback from too much crap in my pockets.
Good point. Yeah, cricket, the cricket ball, the string, the jelly babies, all that kind of stuff you're pulling out. So yeah.
When you said the cricket balls and the swing, again, there is no sex dungeon in there. Stop it, Mr. Jesus, I don't know which one of these worse.
I'd put it this way: if you have such a dungeon, I think you're doing it on a bit of a budget. So
yeah, and I was just thinking about like all the cases where they keep reporting STDs going up in old folks' home. And I was going to make an uncharitable joke. So I'm sorry, we'll move on.
You're going to hold different.
Sorry, what item would you pick then? From the
We're just talking item.
Yeah.
If we're speaking really general, I want a massive cracker, and so I can just get canine. I want a really big cracker.
Nice, yeah.
Well, you have a secret dimension inside the cracker, so when it pulls apart, he comes from this dimension, grows to size. Yeah,
that's what I want. That would be great for Christmas.
Time or Christmas cracker, that would work, and it would have a really poignant poem which relates exactly to what's happening at that moment, like in the Matt Smith's last one. I mean, it's beautiful, perfectly chosen. I assume it existed before the show because I just wasn't familiar with it, but. I mean, yeah, what were the chances you would pull the cracker at that moment? I mean, maybe the TARDIS programmed that cracker somehow. I don't know, but
yeah,
seems a bit dodgy to me. Mr. G?
I'd quite like the tissue compression eliminator sort of thing. Now you might think that's a little bit dark, that kind of thing. But I'm thinking, like on my shelves, sort of thing. I have all these like little figures, little miniatures.
And just for SAS benefit, what is the TCE?
Basically, it was a weapon used by the Master, which would shrink any person down to, doll-sized, basically, wasn't it? Very small.
Yeah.
They were always being found in lunch boxes and, just on seats and things like this sort of thing. So a fairly sort of like horrible weapon, but yeah, I think that'd be great sort of thing, because I could have them all lined up sort of thing, just along my shelf.
Especially linking to Christmas, it'd be handy because if you get anything new and you're like, where am I going to put it? Shrink it down and then.
Good point. I like it. Yeah.
And also, if it's got a reverse mode, because if we use shrink on Michelle, we won't be able to see her ever again. Like we'd have to use the grow method, surely.
Oh, harsh.
You say that's harsh. This is the same Michelle who I literally got a little person, comedian friend of mine, George Coppen, to call Tiny. Because it amused me. So I don't think I'm ever going to beat that one. Like,
I feel like a man who's conquered its greatest foe, and like, you know, what now, the world? You know, what's the point? What's the point in going on with anything when I've got a little person to call Michelle Short? I've reached the peak. That's the way it is.
Yes, and a very small peak it is too. So yeah.
I can get references from some ladies which are short. And I'm sure you it's tiny, but no, that's not the point. If you could go, and we've probably got enough time for this one then out. If you could go back in time to get a classic Doctor Christmas special, which would you do? Sorry, talk amongst yourself.
Sash, can you just reboot him? He seems to have like that's the idea. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to get a Christmas special commission with one of the classic Doctors. Which Doctor, and what do you think would be a good story for them? Just general, like ballpark thinking.
So this is any Doctor in a
classic
Christmas
Doctor from the original load up until McGann, because McGann is the gateway Doctor, so he's usually counted. So 1 to 8, although the first 8 Doctors. So anything other than New Who. So.
I mean, my temptation, and it may be a bit cliched, would be to take somebody like Hartnell, sort of thing, and put him in like a retelling of the Christmas Carol once again. I think he would be would be good.
So, what about a multi-Doctor, like, you know, the early Doctors in the Christmas Carol, and like you could get them?
Exactly. Yeah. So
like 3 Doctors, but with the Christmas Carol.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. It's like it could be TV gold. This could be. So.
I mean, like, even if you could, like, I mean, sort of, if you could, like, as many Doctor Who's who would be up for doing it, just an all Doctor Who Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
To give Sass extra thing time, I'm thinking 5th Doctor, just because that's with, so, you know, it'd be nice to have that one. And I think he was kind of like interesting for the fact that obviously he had some eccentricities, but mainly he was just about fair play and diplomacy. He was sort of a Star Trek Doctor Who in some ways for that, because he was always about diplomacy and what wasn't cricket. In a very kind of like open and accepting way, you know. So I think he'd be an interesting scene from a Doctor Who story, so a Christmas story. So I think he set it on the Eye of Harmony, or the Eye of Orion.
Oh yes,
Doctor, so it's a nice one to back.
Yeah.
I'm picturing Tello and Tegan, because they were with him on that planet, and that was the first Doctor Who crew I remember. And I'm thinking, it's something on that planet, is meaning that it's bringing out the temporal past of Christmas. So in different areas, they see different Christmas that Doctor Who's like the 5th Doctor's gone through. So you can show the other companions, some of them guest starring, and maybe accidentally sees one from his future and from another face, and, you know, or even a cameo from one of the other Doctors. Just a really fun Christmas one where it's just about like getting out of the maze and realizing that if he's stuck there for too long, he's going to get stuck there for whatever contrived reason. Exactly. Oh, sorry. Sas got Tourette's, so the Tick might join us for the conversation. We literally talked to the Tick.
No worries.
No, we like, because we want to be super open, and we always do on Gallifrey Stands and the Doctor, like all my podcasts. It's kind of nice to talk to the Tick. So yeah, like, and the Tick seems to really be nice to me. So I'm like, thank you, Tick. It's nice. It's great.
It's encouraging, yeah.
Yeah, it's really encouraging. She's got the most encouraging Tick I've ever met. It's great. I think that was it. Just talking about
the more you talk about the Tick, the more the Tick is going to come out. We realize.
Yeah.
But like, it's conversationally, not in, you know. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So I think that'd be really cool. And yeah, you could get loads of cameos in there, and it's just a very Christmassy kind of way of going about a story.
Yeah. Nice.
Maybe one of them mentions Christmas, and because of something during a storm of the Eye of Orion, like they've accidentally arrived at the wrong moment when they weren't expecting a huge storm, and it releases some temporal energy, which because someone mentions Christmas, that becomes the focal point. So you've got a good
MacGuffin for what happens.
Yeah.
Come on, Soph.
Ooh, names to numbers. This is where I was struggling.
Give us either which, and don't worry, we've got the geek knowledge.
It's more I have the picture in my head. Long scarf.
Fourth Doctor, yeah.
Yes.
Tom Baker.
Yes, I'd like to see him, especially if it was very. It sounds weird saying it out loud, but a more modern style kind of Black Mirror, we know.
Yeah,
Black Mirror style Christmas episode, so like that darker style, but with him, like in that modern dark style. I don't know. It just.
I like that. Because Tom Baker was always up for doing something a bit darker. I think, and some of the episodes they did, they had Hammer horror kind of style a season. That in that style, really.
But especially seeing it with, like, if we could just do it with today's technology and film, I think it would look so cool. Especially seeing him get into that darkness, and because we're fully being able to see what he is experiencing.
He wanted that he'd be up for like coming back to Doctor Who if they did something bold like Made in the Master, so it could be darker in the character. So if they had a dark incarnation of the Doctor while he was still able to be in it.
Yeah, I mean, if you could take his what was it? It's his Scratchman project sort of thing, wasn't it? Sort of thing. Yeah, sort of thing. Where he goes up against the devil, sort of thing, which would tie in perfectly with what's.
And I love the cameo had in that where he had the other previous incarnation of the Doctor as these scarecrows which appeared. And these scarecrows would judge him really harshly because the other Doctors always judge the new one.
No.
And it was just really nicely done. It was just such a fun way of including them. And because it was him doing an impression of them, like there's no reason why the scarecrow ones wouldn't be his voice kind of mocking him almost. Like Oh, we have got enough time for another one because I realised if we're in 20 past, we've got until 8. Cool. So we'll do another one from Mr. G and then we'll.
Oh, okie doke. Okay.
So your favourite one.
Okay. Christmas morning, sort of thing. The TARDIS is there. You get one trip, sort of thing. Where are you going to go?
That's nice. Oh, I like that one. Yeah.
Are we talking complete, like, anywhere?
I'm going to make you go first, Paul. This is your question. You've given us a good one, but it's one which I'm going to think about. So you've had the most thinking time, so you go first.
Okay. Initially, I thought I could possibly go to the future, but I thought, no, leave the future to be discovered. Sort of thing. So I'd go to the past. I'd go to, I think it was in the Invasion of the Dinosaurs. They always talked about the Golden Age, which was this period sort of like between sort of like the dinosaurs and when humanity first started to emerge, that kind of thing. And where it could, basically the world was fresh, the world was quiet, effectively. I'm thinking, I could spend a few days there. Sort of thing.
Didn't you say when the dinosaurs and the humans were just, wasn't that after the dinosaurs were extinct by hundreds of years?
They would, I think there was I think it was that we were sort of like we were just sort of in mammal form at that point, sort of thing.
So one of those mammals I'm just thinking because like when the asteroid hit, so maybe some of those mammals lived and became us.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. I didn't know that. Yeah. I know there was like hundreds of years before humans evolved after the.
Oh
yeah.
Tens of thousands, sort of thing. But it would be but it would be just sort of like a period of time, sort of thing. I mean, obviously, I'd probably step out the TARDIS and get squashed by something large. So.
Or you step on a bloody butterfly. Always the butterflies, isn't it?
That's the one. I got bitten by one. Yeah. So.
I'm going to say there's. So 3 answers I can think of. One is like classic Hollywood because I love that time. I'd love to meet James Stewart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The sort of It's a Wonderful Life. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Casablanca. Any of those kind of classics. I know that last one, like Casablanca, isn't Jimmy Stewart, but yeah, just a great film. So I think that classic Hollywood just would be something to experience, and I'm such a lover of the arts and film and everything. There's the 70s when just like New York, where they would just starting Saturday Night Live, and that was a very fertile time for comedy. Many all the drugs being taken, which just to be around that kind of level of chaos with like John Belushi and a young Dan Aykroyd, and just like what was it like to be around that craziness? as well as experiencing for yourself, just to experiencing them going through that at that time, which that changed comedy in so many ways. Like the amount of people who've come for Saturday Night Live, which most people in this country don't even realise.
Yeah,
like Blues Brothers were directly from there. You got Coneheads, you got Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray. Like just the best comedians of yesterday and today come from Saturday Night Live. And the last one would be probably the one I'd end up going for. Almost feels like a waste because it's from within my lifetime, but it's before really my memories, like the mid 80s. There's so many like Back to the Future and so many films which I love, so much music which came that year, 1985, and like just to be able to experience that world and remember it. Like I sort of remember what the crisps looked like in the packets, and I remember them. I remember the taste a little bit, but like I love to just experience again, like really experience with an adult's memory. So when I came back, I'd remember it, not just have a vague idea of this time I lived through and experienced, but don't really remember.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yep.
Oh yeah, I think the 80s nostalgia, like Stranger Things. Yeah, you think you're nostalgic for the 80s? I'm coming for it. What would you go back to? I'm really looking forward to this answer. Actually, I think you're covered some interesting.
I've got two. One's like a sentimental one, and then one's like just completely different. I'll go with that one first because it kind of links into yours. 80s again, but for different reasons. Not that it can be seen on camera, but I'm very gothic. All my music, my fashion, No,
I think we're getting it from that hair and that choice of only wearing black. Yeah, no, I think it's working. Yeah, I don't think you have to worry.
Yeah, but it's what I've always I've grown up around, but I never. I'm too young to have experienced it at its full peak. And I think it would be really nice to experience it for a day, because I've had a similar question before where it's like, what era would you go back to and stay in? And it's like, it definitely wouldn't be 80s if I had to stay there.
Yeah, exactly.
If it was for a day and I got to experience that, it's like, I'd want to do that and be able to kind of go all out and know that it's of the time, and it feels right. And then my other one, the sentimental one, I feel like we all kind of have this in the back of our head, but mine would probably be A Christmas with My Nan.
I thought back of your head was a clue to the JFK assassination. Sorry, my mistake. Sorry, sorry, she's insensitive. It's like I just got the Doctor Who link that the JFK assassinations. Yeah, laugh like this. It's like it's like a laugh. JFK assassinations almost got Doctor Who cancelled because it was shown the next day and no one watched it. It was only because I can't think of her name. The showrunner, the first producer. Sorry,
Newman.
No, Verity Lambert. She went to Sydney Newman, the commissioner's office, and just went. He goes like, "No, come on, the show's not working. Like they've got terrible ratings." She goes, "No, you're going to show it again next week, and then we're going to do the next episode straight afterwards." He goes, "Yeah, but it's like, no, we're going to do this." Yeah, we'll do that next week. And and that's how they did on the recreation. And I believe that was kind of how it went. If he would accept a female being a producer, he would have to listen to her, and I'm sure be just as intimidated by her as any man who'd come in with that kind of boldness. But yeah, funny enough, Jacob. So bad. I couldn't resist that joke. Sorry.
Why does it sound so different now? You've said JFK. A Christmas with My Nan, where I can fully experience it and take it in. I was very young during the Christmases that I got to stay at hers, because I was in Suffolk, and I don't really remember them. So I'd like to experience it as one with my adult brain, but two, to be able to remember it. Even if it's not there, I'm just kind of I've gone in, made sure that kind of looked from a distance they're okay. I don't I probably wouldn't want to interact.
Yeah, I might be an 85, so I could check see Dad. Yeah, that'd be nice. Let's imagine I thought that first.
Yeah, we all kind of have the sentimental though. I think anytime questions of time come up, we have that sentiment that we want to go back to. So
yeah,
especially
just to be a passive observer, that kind of thing. Where
we do have to cut there. Just quickly to say, we've discovered and discussed, which is the word I want to go for, a lot of Doctor Who issues tonight. We've had we talked about Tourette's, always present with my level of talking is neurodiversity. We've got help the aged. I mean, if we're not getting a grant for this, I want to know what's going on. I mean, we've got disability times 2.
I know. I'm shocked as you are. Isn't Paul at his age, like after a fall? But no, it's us two. He's the one in better shape.
It'll take about 20 minutes for me to get up out of this chair now.
Yeah, I mean, okay, people can relate to that one, obviously. But I'm doing early 20. Stop showing off.
I was going to say that quick. Yeah.
That's pretty, but my body thinks it's about 60, 70.
Really that quick? No, I'm not going to. No.
Mm.
And I did resist with your very sweet answer when you said, in my brain, like you gave as part of your question, and I thought, well, JFK couldn't put it in the back of his brain for later, could he? Anyway, with that tasteful note, I'm keeping it classy this Christmas. I'm sorry, guys. Very dark time in my life, so dark humor really lifts me. My coping mechanism. Anyway, guys, thank you. Very Merry Christmas to you, Mr. G. Mr. G, if we do find time and we can work out a date, we'll do this again for like busting the last few and just do it as a Christmas bonus special. But, thank you very much for joining us, Sass.
Thank you, and happy Yule.
And thank you for the GFB segments. Thank you very much to Mr. Will Wilkins. Sorry, Mr. G.
I was just saying Merry Christmas to everyone. So that was
actually, let's do it, Paul. I'm going to do it as if I'm holding you up. So I'll do this in a second. And then you've got to go and God bless us, everyone. And that's going to be all right from the segment. Are you ready?
Go for it.
You can just lift slightly on your chair as I do it. Yeah. You ready? Like I'll give you 3, 2, 1 and my hands reach there. When they go off screen, you lift. Yeah. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Merry Christmas, everyone. One and all.
I mean, it's close to the line, so that's good enough. Night all.
Hello, I'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Catherine, I'm sure you have many, many, many tales that many of us have heard before because, you're brilliant at telling stories. But can you tell us about the time that you ended up inventing a cure for the I can't even say the word, a cure for the hiccups?
Oh, wow, that was a while ago. So that came about because I noticed that every time I would have hiccups and I would think they were gone and I would cough, I would hiccup again. So I was wondering if inducing a double cough would help remove the hiccup. That didn't work. So, yes.
Doctor Squee.
So you're saying that you like Ed, I believe she's saying that she improved her method. She might think differently, is all I'm saying. Single now out at bandcamp.com. Think different. See, I put and plug for myself this time. Anyway, sorry, back to you.
And that blatant points grabbing. Tell us about your think differently. I'm not sure what the challenge was, to be honest.
I couldn't think of a good one for that one, so I thought I'd just chuck it in.
Well, I had to obviously think different in order to come up with this invention. And I knew that sometimes when people drink, as people are wont to do, and myself at times, you can get hiccups. Or if you take in too much air, you can get hiccups. So as I was pondering what I could do to try and come up with something to stop these hiccups that I had.
Tom.
Hi, Mr. Ed. Could you please have Catherine elaborate how she managed to convince the whole pharmaceutical world that hiccups was an effective form of birth control?
Actually, yes. I remember reading about that in New Scientist. It's a fascinating story.
Yes,
Please tell us more.
I'm glad you brought that up because that was a very intricate moment of my journey where I realized that hiccups can be very offensive during intercourse. So, in fact, before inventing the cure to stop the hiccups, I invented acceleration of hiccups. And that was done by eating hot chilies right before you're going to be intimate. So not only did it make you hiccup, it made you throw up. And as well, your mouth was spicy and whatever, wherever that went would be burning as well. So obviously
Dr.
it's
Squee.
Yes, please.
Well, I was just going to go for the. Sorry, I don't know why, Ed, this hasn't been brought up. The fact that while you yourself, Ed, were in a part of New York that Catherine involved you, you were in the middle of getting a haircut. It was Edinburgh Fringe, but you know, and then Edinburgh Fringe. Anyway, just wonder if you might be able to tell us about how he got involved while he was having his haircut in a borough of New York. Anyway.
How did the hiccups affect my regular coverage of the Edinburgh Fringe and also the actual my haircut as well?
Well, because at the time I was dating your hairdresser, so I happened to be there when you were getting that, you know, that close shave haircut at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Is that what you mentioned?
Yeah.
And I did have that hiccup issue at the time. I was waiting to be next to get my hair done, and I couldn't stop hiccuping. And because I just had this new invention to hiccup more before I found the other cure, and I was hiccuping a lot, and the peppers made it quite, you know, fragrant, and it scared your hairdresser and shaved part of your head off. So that's how you got that big strip down your head. So what I realized was
Michelle.
that.
Mr. Ed, could you ask Catherine, how did she feel having this lawsuit brought against her when many people were actually falling pregnant when they were expecting not to?
Oh yes, the unfortunate hiccup cure lawsuit.
Yes, well, that did not go well at all. You know, I tried to convince him that maybe it was meant to be, and that obviously your spouse was so in love with you that it did not work, but they didn't have none of that. So it wasn't a good thing at all. But and
30 seconds.
Learning how to, the trick was, in order to scare yourself, in order to get rid of the hiccups, you needed a big scare. So you had to find something that scared you. So I invented a drink that tasted so awful that as soon as you drank it, it was so frightening and choking that you instantly stopped hiccuping. So that's how that happened. And it was amazing and all true. And I actually used it while I was on Due South months.
Thank you very much for that fantastic tale. And
that sounds like a plug to me as well. I'm just saying.
Story that was definitely a plug.
Apparently, Zip Trousers has given a point to Michelle. I don't know if you're counting Zip's points there, but
yeah, no, Zip Trousers is a established creator and actually artisan level points. So
I believe the only person you ever deputized in this game.
It's more that they are an artisan and craftsman of points and have done so for many improv shows, including all of Chicago improv games have had points crafted by Zip. I believe they're deep dish points, in fact. And on that subject, we'll finally get a question and we're going to invite our friend Michelle to tell us the story about the time they made them the Queen of Venus.
Oh, yes. I'm so glad you're bringing this one. That was such an amazing week. I wish it could have been longer. And I actually have a picture up in my living room of me wearing the crown as the Queen of Venus. It came as such a surprise. I was going on holiday, got in the plane, was not expecting it to go that high. We just flew off. I don't know what, I think some kind of medical emergency.
Dr. Squee.
I believe they fit in some breathing stuff along your neck. They didn't have quite enough. They put some more on. So they Gilmore Girls, one of you must have been in it, surely. Just speculatively, that one. Anyway, okay, worth trying. So you got gills fitted.
Oh, I absolutely did. Yeah. And I have to say, it wasn't.
Sorry, Ed.
No. Tell us more about the gills and the terrible puns.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I'm not just guessing stuff they've been. I don't know.
Cheeky.
Yeah, I had these gills fitted, and while I was on Venus, absolutely fantastic. But I have to say, the removal of them when I got back down to Earth was not fun. There was a lot of recovery from that, but yeah, needed that so much while I was up there. And it was really, I learned a new language. I got to meet so many new aliens. I still keep in contact today.
Talk about meeting the King of Mars while you were the Queen of Venus and how you had to sort of shun his affections towards you.
I did.
Wow.
Yes, the King of Mars, yes.
Yeah, this is a little bit awkward because I think my husband might be watching. But yeah, I did. I mean, he was coming on strong, I have to say. I don't think he'd ever seen a human before. So he just came over to Venus on holiday, actually.
Doctor Squee.
I believe Michelle's main complaint was that Gary seemed unbothered by proceedings, which is her husband, just for anyone.
Yes, tell us more about the horrible, horrible social awkwardness of having the King of Mars trying to come on to you whilst your husband is unhappy.
Yeah, I mean, it was so awkward because even when I came back down to Earth, he still wouldn't leave me alone. You know, he's calling, you know.
Gary.
Yeah, he keeps calling, he keeps sending me mail. Obviously, it takes a long time to get here, but every so often I just keep getting these letters. I keep getting these dried up flower things from Mars, all kinds of like weird stuff. And I keep going to Gary like, oh my God, look, he sent me this again. And he's, you know, I'd like him to care a little bit more about it.
Catherine.
Can you, do you remember that? I think it was like a one sentence poem that he sent to you. Can you remember that?
Yes, the terrible, terrible poetry. I remember you telling us about this before. Remind us about the terrible poetry.
Yeah.
1 minute, by the way.
He's not a good poet, and it probably didn't help. Maybe if he'd been a beautiful poet, maybe it would have worked out. But I had to get somebody to translate it for me, and it kind of something went along the lines of like, human, lovely human, please come back to me. Human, lovely human, fly up to my home. It was something like completely ridiculous. Maybe it was lost in translation.
Tom.
Well, Ed, could you please have Michelle elaborate on this amazing event when Andrew Lloyd Webber approached her and the King of Mars to create a musical? And it was a big hit in the West End.
Oh, yes. Tell us all about Andrew Lloyd Webber's West End musical involving yourself, the King of Mars, and the planet Venus.
It was a fantastic hit, but how awkward was that for us to make? There's me, there's this king that he won't leave me alone. There's my husband, not that he's caring very much, but it was just a whole awkward situation. But absolute smash on the West End. There was so many musicals. I mean, sometimes that I still get some of the songs like stuck in my head. But Andrew Lloyd Webber, what a guy! He makes fantastic.
Tom and Dr. Squee. Tom first.
Well, Mr. Ed, could you please have her elaborate on the song that was stuck in her head? Maybe she could sing a few bars from it.
Dr. Squee? I
was basically going to ask the same thing. So
Michelle, tell us about the song that we remember so much and love so much. And in fact, I sing it to Mrs. Fortune every morning.
Why wouldn't you? It's such a beautiful song. And it's like, you came to Venus, I came from Mars. You are from Earth, but that don't matter to me, babe. Come back up to Mars and I'll show you some real Venus.
You said Venus, right? Okay.
Yeah, definitely Venus.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and we are out of time.
And it's a true story.
Always for that bonus point. And current scores, we have Dr. Squee and Tom neck and neck, and we have Catherine very close with Michelle also at the bottom, and at the very bottom, of course,
mine
all
and
the dogs.
Tom's necking out of this. Thank you. Very nice.
Now, Dr. Squee, how much time do we have left?
5 minutes.
So do we have time for a 1 minute death match, by which I mean we can't hear very well because of the microphones, a 1 minute
is that okay?
quick fire round?
Can you hear okay through the microphones though?
Yes, no, I was making a joke. So 1 minute quick fire round?
Yeah, and if everyone could buzz in with their interruptions and how they think differently, if you can incorporate, come on, it's what it's all about.
All right.
Okay, so let's start with Dr. Squee. Dr. Squee, regale us about the time you found a Stargate in your Weetabix. You have 1 minute before we run out of time.
Yeah, I was just confused how we were always out of Weetabix. I just brought this new pack, like there's nothing left in there. So I put my arm down into the thing to see if there's any Weetabix left in there. Pulled out.
I'm just curious, did it make you think any differently about eating Weetabix?
Yes, it's how you think differently, but okay, that's close enough. Yes, it made me think like Weetabix, maybe there are this celestial goodies. So I put my arm in, reached out, Teal.
Tom,
Mr. Ed, could you please have Dr. Squee elaborate? During this period where you had Weetabix, it was prohibition. Weetabix was banned. How did you manage to find some Weetabix?
How did you get past the Weetabix ban, please, Dr. Squee?
Oh my God! I had to convince these rich doctors who were smuggling it in that it was okay, but they, I had to bribe them. I had to give them all this money. They were very in favour, though. It was sort of a Doctor Squee show.
Can you ask Ed? Can you ask Dr. Squee how the trip through the Stargate went with those doctors?
Yes. How did you deal with the time-space displacement caused by the Stargate and the Weetabix?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because once we established that the Stargate was in the serial, we all jumped through. The doctors were making this wee. It was kind of a Doctor Squee show, if you will, because I didn't quite get in before. And it was great, and we had a wonderful adventure, and it was all true.
Thank you very much for that story, which I believe is 100% true. Congratulations, Dr. Squee. Tom, remind us again, how did you end up selling Mars?
Oh, my goodness. Well, there was two people I know who were dog sledding through the north, and they were trying to find another land. But what happened was that they went through a little time tunnel, and they ended up in a swamp. And that's where they met me. And I said, fellas, you're from Chicago and you're from Canada. I don't think you're comfortable in swamps, and I have a deal for you. And I convinced them that I could sell them a planet called Mars, because I was good buddies with Elon Musk.
Dr. Squee.
I believe there was, it actually intersects with the true story that Michelle told, because the King of Mars was really mad. They were trying to sign a treaty at the time. It was a whole thing.
I remember, didn't that upset the King of Mars?
Yeah. The King of Mars was stubborn. He never got over Michelle breaking his heart. He was on a rebound. He was sleeping with everything that came left, center, right. He slept with more people than Captain Kirk. He was just like a galaxy hoe, we all referred to him. Anyway, he was trying to obstruct the sale. But Mr. Musk, as I remember, was very, very good with money and convinced him, look, if you let us in and sell this land, you can be king and we'll bring Michelle back to you. And we did. And they lived happily ever after. And that's a true story.
It is indeed a true story. I seem to recall watching the Hallmark movie about it as well. It's a beautiful.
Okay, that's got to be some points to Ed. I'm sure one of you done Hallmark. I'm sure I've read that in one of your movies.
Yes, I'm not allowed points. There's a legal case that prevents me from owning my own points. Catherine, could you please regale the assembled listeners about the time that you flew to the moon on a goose?
Yes, that, it wasn't, thank you for asking, it wasn't a regular goose per se. It was a goose that was brought up by Elon Musk, who you just mentioned, Nemesis. His name is Devin Stusk. He named himself that to sound like Elon Musk. So it's Devin Stusk. And he was very much a different thinker. And he also had parents that were... go ahead.
Dr. Squee.
I understand as well, you got really annoyed with this method of conveyance to the moon. It was very inconvenient, Catherine Bruhier. Anyway, tell us about the inconvenience. Ed, if you would ask her to do that.
Yes, tell us about the blatant point grabbing. I mean, the inconvenience.
Well, it was an inconvenience because the different gravitational pull when you fly to the moon is really bad for your skin and your face when you come back to gravity. But we went to the moon nevertheless. It was great. It was a beautiful time. It was a true story. And I was able to get my face back.
What a fantastic story. Again, one of the ones to tell everyone around the world. And finally, we have, as we are in fact out of time, but we're going to go for one more story.
Reese is in. Reese is actually showing up as device not detected, and he's on the next one. So hopefully that'll give him enough time to be connected. And
I find pointing my monitor at the device and going, it's over there, works every time. But then again, that's why I'm not good at computers. Michelle, please regale the assembled listeners about your time as the world's loudest rock star.
Yes. Oh, I love a bit of rock. I'm regularly going to rock shows, but I'm usually one of these people that's just in the crowd singing along. But there was one time they were calling for people like to get up onto the stage. They passed me the mic and I just went for it. I didn't realize I could be this loud until I got up there, but the window shattered.
Catherine.
Ed, can you ask Michelle how it was, effective not wearing clothes when she went up there, and how embarrassed she might have been or not been? Maybe it was a freedom thing for her.
Oh yes, tell us about the full frontal nudity.
Well,
Doctor Squee.
Well, just because it ties in so perfectly. I mean, I believe this was right after the band Oscopy. Like it was endoscopy of things where Michelle works. Anyway, like tell us about endoscopy. Ed, maybe.
Yes, tell us not only about the full frontal nudity, but apparently also the anal probe.
Well, the anal probe was I wasn't expecting, I have to say, but I was, I don't know if you've ever been in a mosh pit. It is hot in there. So I was just naturally just like every few minutes, it's just taking more and more off. I didn't actually realize I was naked until I'd finished up on the stage, and the probe was still in me, and that is a true story.
I've never been more relieved to end a show. Congratulations, everyone.
Also, when she works in endoscopy, is that like revenge when someone probes her? Anyway.
Wait, isn't endoscopy going this way and colonoscopy going that way?
Yeah, but
No, I've been told this because I keep on. Some suggest for comedic effect calling it colonoscopy where she works. Endoscopy, I believe, is the umbrella term for all of them.
That's a gastroscopy, colonoscopy, bronchoscopy.
Lots
of P's.
Of course. Was the rock band you were with called the Flying Butt Monkeys?
That would have been very apt, yes.
Thank you very much, everyone. Obviously, the winners, of course, are the viewers. So congratulations. You may have points. But also Dr. Squee, because he's plugged everything he can. More plugs than Battersea Power Station, I believe.
Before we say goodbye to everyone, I was just wondering, I'm asking all my guests today if they could say how they think differently. So in your goodbyes, I will hand back to Ed. If you can chuck that in, that would be great.
How I think differently. I mean, the literal answer is I have a brain that's actually a medical miracle, but I'm synesthetic and ruined someone's experiment by being weird. But also, I just love to write and love to read, and I have a magpie mind, and that's something that lets me think differently to a lot of other people.
Oh, Tom?
What? Oh, how I think differently? Oh, yeah. I have rapid thought process. I race ahead. So far, people don't know what I'm talking about. But when I come back, they realize, no, Tom actually is quite grounded. And there's an inside joke amongst the cast of Due South. It was called Skillet. Now, if you ever talked to Paul or Bro or Callum, I used to say skillet a lot, and it had to do with prison.
Well, that's a story we're going to tell another day. But, Catherine?
I think differently because I feel like I'm always of two minds. Like one, I will start to say like, to my daughter, I think maybe we should do this. But then the other brain will be like, but that might not be safe. So maybe we shouldn't, to the point where my daughter's like, is there a butt coming, Mom? Or can we just have this, the one that's adventurous and leave the other one behind? But I find like I always try to, even with people just in general, if you hear something negative about a person, I always try to look at from their perspective. Like, well, maybe they're like that because of this. And sometimes it can be really annoying when somebody's like telling you a story because they want you to jump on their side. But it's just something I've always done. I've always like, well, what if this person was like this because of such and such and such? And maybe they didn't mean that. It can be really annoying to some of my family members, but that's kind of how I think differently.
I could tell your patience by the look on your face for the first, like, at least 10 minutes of this show where you're like, okay, I'm going to see how this goes, but I'm not sure I approve, which is the correct response to our vibe. Michelle, how do you think differently?
I think it's probably because I've worked in healthcare for so long. I think you kind of get trained as a nurse. Like we have this like person-centered care. Everyone's an individual. Everyone's care has to be tailored to them. And I think that kind of spills into my life outside of work as well. Everybody I meet, I treat them as an individual. I see everybody completely different. I can talk to like one person and go up to someone else, and it's a completely different vibe, a completely different person. Everyone is kind of like individual to me, so I think that's how I kind of see people.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Ed for sorting out the game. Catherine and Tom, you're always so wonderful to the users and to the community. And I think you both think very differently and very accepting of people's differences, which is a breath of fresh air all the time, as is, of course, Ed. But I feel like Ed's just another one of the weirdos to me because I've known him for so long. Same with Michelle. But I'm very thankful for you all being here anyway. And thank you very much, Michelle.
Yeah, no, it's such an odd question for me because I literally smell colors. So it's like, it's one of those. But anyway, thank you very much.
It's been so
Thank you very
fun,
much,
guys.
Yeah, thank you.
So, guys, that's about it from the Doctor Squee Show. Before we go for this year, let's take a walk. And just like that, that's the end of this festive mashup edition of the Doctor Squee Show. We're here now outside in fabulous Romsey. Look at that. Come on. Beautiful. Well, I just want to say a Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you had a lovely Christmas time. Yeah. We hope you enjoyed this admittedly belated festive trip through the Doctor Squee shows, if you will. From all the people who've joined us today, which I'm just going to let the credits do the talking on that one, because so many people were involved this year. The biggest Christmas event we've ever done on the Doctor Squee Show. There you go. And excuse the traffic in the background as I record this, but I know what's going to happen in 2026. This has been a hell of a year. There's been a fair few plot twists for me too. In this year, so let's have a look at it. I've been in 2 plays. I got a concussion, which I didn't notice because I already had nerve damage, which caused me to have hot flashes, which is a new one on me. I'm basically a menopausal woman now. God, I got an oral infection, oral thrush, which thought was an STD or something to begin with. Look, guys don't deal with thrush that often. I then got iron deficiency, which I'm still dealing with, which is why my eyes look currently shut as we speak. Worse than all these ailments and all these pains and all these things I've done this year, there's been Mum. So, for those who don't know, I'm a carer for my mum. And you wouldn't believe from that list of ailments that I'm capable of being so, but surprisingly, I'm the one who is the carer, not the patient. But this year, my mum's been diagnosed with terminal womb cancer. And due to her age and frailty, they couldn't operate after an infection, especially which she had just before. She's now back up to strength as much as she can be, and she's hopefully going to be coming home, see out her last few days. And I want to just thank everyone for reaching out and being there for me and saying kind words and supporting the shows, which I know since shortly after Squeefest kind of went away due to my commitments with Mum and her illness. But we'll be coming back in 2026, bigger and better than ever. Kind of trying not to be too precise with plans. The thing is, it's that old thing that God laughs when you make plans. I prefer to think of it the universe, but whatever you may believe in or not, plans change and they never quite arrive as you expect them to. When I began this year, I suppose I didn't have much of a plan. I was working at the university in an admin role. I was helping Mum at the time as a carer already. And I realised I was starting to get more and more pain. I was less and less able to work and struggling more with my hands and my walking. And Mum needed more of my time, so one of them had to go, so it was my job. And yeah, I've known a lot of pain this year, and
I've seen my mum over this year be quite out of it and not be herself. And now she's got cancer, but they put her on meds, which means that she's not in pain as much and she's not bleeding as she was. And it meant that person who's unfortunately leaving us is my mum. She hasn't been that for a year, not really. And when an illness overtakes someone like that, and you realise you're going out this year hoping that your mum sees the rest of this year, but she doesn't see pain that she doesn't have to. Realise plans don't matter for shit. Because I'm not going into a 2026, yeah. Not a lot with my mum, by the sounds of things, but I'm now in a position, thanks to my mum, where I'm not at a desk job. I'm about to launch a new business next year, because I could start working towards that alongside caring for mum. Another lost gift that she gives me, I guess. All's to say, if you're true to yourself, it doesn't matter if plans change. Always get where you need to be. Leave this Christmas special on such a note, but I just want to say that thank you to everyone at all the shows here at the Doctor Squee Show. I'd like to thank Romsey Abbey for going off right at the wrong moment.